They was?
They were blown off that Sherman, yeah, man, that wet.
Oh yeah, I wasn't living here then. I wasn't here. I wasn't in this area. I know I'm from Gary. Uh
Yeah, that's
and
what I'm talking about. South Bend and Gary, man.
oh yeah, Gary, them cats, man, yeah, I seen a few cats on that, man. But I can't yeah, I'm familiar. I'm familiar.
Yeah, yeah.
Seeing some cats off that.
I was born to get it, start to the finish. I punch in the clock, manifesting the millions. I break through the ceilings. My ancestors told me I don't got no limits. You gotta think bigger. My ancestors told me I don't got no limits. You gotta think bigger. Yeah. I was born to win it, start to the finish. I punch in the clock, manifesting the millions. I break through the ceilings. My ancestors told me I don't got no limits. You gotta think bigger. My ancestors told me I don't got no limits.
Yeah. Hearing voices in my head and they saying go get them. High self elevating, then I go with them. Meditating just so I can see the bigger picture and I see the universe. Every day is getting bigger, so I gotta grow with it. Staying consistent, move like the water and stay with the stillness. Ancestors with them, nobody could kill them. They stay on that bullshit, I stay with the realness, and that's why they feel them. Look at the time, 222, this the moment that we supposed to be living right now. Stay on my grind, talking about balancing everything, not just that somebody job. And I do my best, I never show it, but I'm playing chess. Looking for knowledge and stacking up checks. I just might roll up so I never stress. I'm feeling like Master P. No, it ain't no limits on me. I kick down the door, I'm taking what's mine. No, I do not need no key. I'm standing on business. Keep it real till I'm finished. No, they want me to go. I ain't never gonna quit it.
I was born to get it, start to the finish. I punch in the clock, manifesting the millions. I break through the ceilings. My ancestors told me I don't got no limits. You gotta think bigger. My ancestors told me I don't got no limits. You gotta think bigger. Yeah. I was born to win it, start to the finish. I punch in the clock, manifesting the millions. I break through the ceilings. My ancestors told me I don't got no limits. You gotta think bigger. My ancestors told me I don't got no limits. You gotta think bigger. Yeah. Drip on Pacific. When I step into the building, I left me a puddle. Now all of my shadows are slipping. I came to get my percentage and leave an empire behind that pass down to my children. Yeah, moving in my truth, connected to my roots, just like the foundation of buildings. Yeah, straight from out the dirt, reflection of the earth. Yeah, we the same ones that built pyramids. This shit feel like I'm a pharaoh, shooting sharper than a bow and arrow. Spread my wings on them just like a sparrow and take off. Haters eat the smoke out my exhaust. I left Earth and found life up on Mars. You act foul and I'm setting the charge. Kept it mellow, but I'm about to ball. Verses sting like a hornet, they stuck in the nest off the hook, I cannot let them off. I'm applying the pressure to cultivate diamonds, don't ask me why I'm going hard. I woke up full of gratitude, thankful for all of my blessings, but I want it all. Yeah. I said I want it all. Put the world on my ball and to get it. Start to the finish. I punch in the clock, manifesting the millions. I break through the ceilings. My ancestors told me I don't got no limits. You gotta think bigger. My ancestors told me I don't got no limits. You gotta think bigger. Yeah. I was born to win it. Start to the finish. I punch in the clock, manifesting the millions. I break through the ceilings. My ancestors told me I don't got no limits. You gotta think bigger. My ancestors told me I don't got no limits. You gotta think bigger. Yeah.
So I like that joint, man, because it kept talking about the ancestors, man, and then it showed a sign of the Ankh, man, and these cats that as I know about them, I don't know so much about them, but what I know about them is they keep shit really basic in their life, man, so that they do have they can carry out that mantra of I want to have something for my kids when I leave, right? Instead of spending it on mute your mic, Carrie.
All right.
so that they ain't spending it on the jewels and all this kind of shit, man. And then and then Jamie had told me, because I was getting that Book of the Dead, man, and he said, I said they got spells in it. And he said, man, what you think it was like when you was saying them verses and stuff like that? So, evoking the spirit, man. So not causing it trouble, just bringing it to life and stuff. So and so that song reminded me of that, man. So well, Gerald, man, you told me you got some joints, man, from back in the day, man. You got to ship me some.
Yeah, I gotta find some of them joints, man. I think when I talked to you, I went to looking for some of them, and I say, man, sometimes I be crashing my computers, and I be thinking I be keeping that information, and some
Yeah.
of it be lost. You know what I'm saying? And I done lost a whole bunch of more information with computers just crashing. I come from that era where you used to keep
Yeah.
everything on that, on that computer,
Yeah.
and but I still got some stuff. And again, I'm gonna get that to you.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I
uh,
didn't back up a lot of shit, man, too. I had a whole lot of shit to back. You get to be in emotion, man, and stuff, man. And like, man, it'll be there. It'll be there. So I get it. I get it.
Yeah, man. Peace to the family, man. Hey, welcome to Sankofa 180 degrees, man. We back at y'all again. Uh, you know, hey, the famous panel, man. You know what I'm saying? Famous panel right here, man. Peace to the Queen Carrie. You know what I'm saying? And peace to Eric, peace to Unc, peace to Gerald,
what do you do?
and peace to the family. How y'all doing, man? And everybody, man, y'all can go ahead and speak to him, man.
Yeah, I just want to say this video I'm going to show, man. We talked to, me and the boys and Carrie talked about this stuff. I don't think I talked to Carrie about it. I mentioned it, but and so, watch this to the end, man, because it has some really good information, man. And I got another banger, man, from SETI too, man. Gerald, the one I was talking about, where he was talking about Martin Luther King when Malcolm X was hitting up Martin Luther King. But SETI got some good stuff that he's putting out there too, So, if we get to that, cool. If not, we can get to that some other time or not. Either way. But I want to do this APAP video. So peace to the audience, peace to the fam, peace to Sankofa, and peace to Africa. Yeah, we just lost a matriarch in our community back in Lansing too. So love and respect to Mom's Mary Beavers and the whole Beaver family, the whole Beaver and Mitchell family. So Tania, I love you so much. Lisa, Granny, Lily, Mary, we love you so much. So Jean, we love you so much. So big ups to you. Keep your head.
That's right. Peace to the Beaver family, man, and my condolences, to the loss of such a great woman. That's right. Go ahead, Gerald.
Peace to the panel, peace to the family. Sankofa 180 family, peace to the Sankofa 180 panel. Happy to be here again, Brother Gerald out of H-Town. Like I said, ready to get into some information dealing with some of this ancient Kemetic philosophy. See what we know, see what we can remember, and see what we can bring out and share with others who are also on this path. So, again, happy to be here, ready to get with it. All love.
So, Carrie.
Hey, hey, Kings. Well, I'm glad to be here. Looking forward to watching this video, and good to see all of you. I love learning from you guys, and sorry I kept my mic on earlier when I was coughing. Got a little congestion, but hey, it could be way worse. Good thing I take CMOS and all my stuff. I take it in pill form, but hey, it helps me. So, love you guys. Bye.
Hey, she won't fuck with my mud, man. She don't want to take that mud. You on mute, Jamie.
Yeah. Nobody want to have those problems, man. Hey, welcome, Queen. We always glad to have you here. You know what I mean? To break this up, man. Cause I know Unc be starting stuff. And yeah, Unc be starting stuff. I know what he on to. And all his when he plays something, hey, he has intent. And I'm gonna tell y'all right now, I'm gonna put him out there. I'm telling right now. All right. Yeah, go ahead, Eric. My bad.
Hey, on that note, man, I'm sending you Seti's joint right now.
Okay. Okay, go ahead, Eric. Peace.
All right, peace and blessings, family. Peace to the panel. My condolences to is that the Berry family, Lansing,
Beavers.
Beavers family, Lansing. Um, yeah, I know it's always hard when we lose our matriarchs and patriarchs. So I want to send my blessings out. And, I'm ready. Let's get rolling.
Bet. Hey, are you're sharing, right? Or you
Yeah,
right?
I sent it to you to share just in case because I got to do some other shit on my computer to get it, and you just quicker with it. So
Okay, so you want me to share it then?
yeah, so share the one about APEP, and then if we get into SETI, which we'll just see. Go ahead and share that APEP. It's about 17 minutes, but it's real good.
You sent it to me?
Yeah. I'm sending you SETIs right now, but I already sent you APEPs.
Oh, I'm not seeing it, King.
Okay, let me send it to you. Hold on. The SETIs is gonna come first, and then I send you APEPs again.
All right. I see SETI.
All
It
right,
just came through.
here come APEP right now.
Okay, I see it.
Bet.
Okay, let me set it up real quick. Yeah, yeah. See, and then look, this is the thing, man. Like you can tell when Unc get to working, man, because he comes up with videos that I ain't even know is out here. All right,
Hey, just real quick too, man. I looked up. Let me see where my joint is. Hold up. I was gonna do something on this too, man. On Haru. And what was the other part? He's got a second part to it too, but in Esna. But then I'm going to go down to next week. I hope to get to the city in Brazil along the coastline called Parody. They pronounce it differently, but Parody and Quilombo, not Colombo, but Quilombo and San Paulo. So that's coming up. Your mic is muted, Jamie.
okay. So anybody else want to speak to that? No. Okay. See, y'all see the screen?
It's black. Yeah. Make sure you introduce the people, man. The title and stuff.
Yeah, the story of APEP, uh, Egyptian mythology explained, Egyptian mythology stories, ASMR stories. That's
Yeah,
what
so
this. That's what I see.
so we're going to give thanks to ASMR Stories and their production and for allowing us to be able to share this with the people.
In the primordial days when the universe was but a swirling abyss of chaos, there emerged a force that would forever be known as Apep, or Apophis. This enigmatic entity arose from the tumultuous, formless waters of Nu, the primordial ocean that predated creation itself. Apep's origins were as mysterious as the dark, chaotic depths from which he emerged, and his very existence symbolized the ever-present threat of disorder and malevolence in the cosmos. As Ra emerged, beaming with radiant light, Apep was born in complete darkness, the opposite to Ra. Apep's early years were marked by a swift ascent to malevolence. As he grew in power, he exhibited a profound and insatiable appetite for disorder and turmoil. His malevolent nature set him apart as a formidable and menacing presence in the world of Egyptian mythology. Like a serpent coiled and ready to strike, Apep lurked in the shadows, waiting for the opportune moment to disrupt the harmony of the universe. Apep was often depicted as a colossal serpent, a creature of immense power and darkness. His appearance struck fear into the hearts of all who encountered him. He was characterized by scales that were as dark as the deepest shadows, glistening with an eerie malevolence. His eyes, fiery and malevolent, bore witness to his insatiable hunger for chaos and destruction. The ancient Egyptians envisioned Apep as a force of nature rather than a mere deity. His immense size and formidable presence were emphasized in depictions, serving as a constant reminder of the danger he posed to the cosmic order. Apep's serpentine form was a symbol of the primal, untamed chaos that lurked at the edges of their worldview. In the realm of mythology, Apep's appearance was an embodiment of the chaotic forces that threatened the harmony of the universe. His serpent-like form was symbolic of the unpredictable and disruptive nature of chaos, a force that could strike without warning, plunging the world into turmoil and darkness. Apep's role in Egyptian mythology was that of an antagonist, a malevolent force that existed to challenge and disrupt the cosmic order. Known as the embodiment of darkness and disorder, as well as the god of chaos, his purpose was clear and unyielding. He wished to plunge the world into darkness and chaos by interfering with the celestial journey of Ra, the sun god. Apep was not motivated by personal ambitions or desires for power. Rather, his actions were driven by an innate, chaotic nature that sought to unravel the very fabric of the universe. In the Egyptian belief system, the concept of Mahat, symbolizing cosmic balance and harmony, was of paramount importance. Apep's existence was a direct affront to Mahat, as he represented the antithesis of order and balance. His purpose was to disrupt the delicate equilibrium of the world and cast it into turmoil. Apep's malevolent intent served as a reminder of the ever-present threat of chaos and the constant need to defend against it. Each day, Ra, the radiant sun god, embarked on his celestial voyage in his magnificent solar boat, known as the Man-Jet during the day and the Mesektet during the night. It was the vessel of cosmic order and light. During his daily journey, Ra would inevitably cross paths with Apep. As the sun set, it was believed that Ra ventured into the underworld, where Apep dwelled. These encounters were not mere coincidences, but were destined cosmic confrontations with profound consequences. Ra represented the very essence of life, illumination, and order, while Apep was the embodiment of darkness and malevolence. Ra's daily journey through the sky was not just a celestial spectacle. It was a sacred duty that upheld the very fabric of existence. The clashes between Ra and Apep were not just conflicts between deities, but also a vivid illustration of the ongoing struggle between light and darkness, order and chaos. In some retellings, they talk about the resentment Apep held for Ra. After all, they were both born from the same primordial waters of Nu, but Ra received all the glory, while Apep was casted aside, left in the darkness. While others talk about the battles between Apep and Ra, not being driven by personal grievances or desires for supremacy. Instead, they were symbolic of the eternal struggle between order and chaos in the Egyptian mythological cosmos. Ra, the radiant sun god, personified cosmic order, illumination, and life. His daily journey through the sky was a sacred duty that ensured the continuity of the world. In stark contrast, Apep represented darkness, malevolence, and the inherent chaos that threatened to plunge the world into eternal night. Apep's relentless attempts to thwart Ra's celestial voyage symbolize the ceaseless challenge that chaos posed to cosmic order. These battles were not just clashes of deities, they were the embodiment of the fragile balance that underpinned the Egyptian worldview. Ra's radiant presence served as a beacon of hope against the malevolent tide of Apep's darkness, reminding the ancient Egyptians of the ever-present threat of chaos and the need to defend the forces of light.
Talk about sticker shock. Shopping for that shiny new appliance is expensive.
The daily battles between Ra and Apep were nothing short of epic cosmic confrontations. Ra's solar boat was the vessel of cosmic order and light, while Apep's relentlessness was the embodiment of darkness and chaos. His intent was to swallow this radiant vessel and Ra himself, extinguishing the sun and casting the world into unending darkness. It was said that the earthquakes and thunderstorms were a result of their divine clashes. However, despite Ra's strength, Apep stood his ground. After all, he too was born from the primordial waters. Apep's roars alone could shake the very foundations of the underworld. These battles were not always fought by Ra alone. The gods and goddesses of the Egyptian pantheon often intervened in these epic clashes to help repel Apep's malevolent advances. Thoth, the god of wisdom, knowledge, and magic, played a vital role in defending Ra against Apep. He was known for his immense intellectual prowess and used
All right, man. So I just want to clear this up, man. Thoth is Jehuti or Tahuti, however you want to play it.
Yeah,
Right.
they're gonna mention
Right.
it too.
So that's some Greek shit that they done put out there.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, anybody else want to say something about that?
Yeah, they're gonna mention Tahuti, man, and I knew there were gonna be some corrections. That's why I do it like I do it. So
Anybody? Gerald, Eric, anybody?
Oh no,
Gary?
I'm good. Go ahead. How long? Yeah, I'm gonna be transitioning to the crib, so I'll just be listening, or I log back
Okay.
in once I get squared away.
I sent you all the video too.
All right, cool.
Queen Carrie, you want to say something on that?
No, I'm good. I didn't know about this cat, so I'm listening.
Okay. That's right. Hey, Gerald, King, you want to say something?
Oh, I'm good right now.
Okay. All right, here we go, man. I just wanted to say that real quick, man. Hey, you know that they put that Thoth. You know, me and my wife was talking about that the other day. She was talking about, I mean, they was pronouncing it Thoth, and she pointed that out. That why they use that.
Yeah, and also, you know, from my understanding, Thoth was a lady, but I guess it's both sides, but he's depicting it as a man. So I picked up on that part too.
his wisdom to craft powerful spells and incantations.
Translations. Thoth is just the Greek translation of Tahuti.
Right.
And then you got Hermes is the same thing. That's the same thing as we say Osar. They're gonna say Osiris and Isis. We're gonna say Osar and Aset. We're gonna say Tahuti. We're gonna say Hebrew. They're gonna say Horus. They're just more people are gonna pronounce it from the Greek way. We African centered. You can tell a person is African centered once they start talking that way. I always remember that they had to have gone to somebody coming from an African-centered thought that say, no, it's not. And again, they'll teach you that and they'll still say those terms too. So don't get so bent out on it. You with me?
Yeah, no doubt.
Like I say, I've seen Dr. John Henry Clark said, or Anthony Broad and them know it, and then I see them in presentation saying Osiris and Isis. It's whoever they trying to reach. It's whatever word they, you know what I'm saying. So I understand that concept, as long as you know the truth. You know what I'm saying?
they put it to where people are familiar with the term, like who they're talking about. And so when you say Osiris, they know exactly who Osiris is. But if you say Asar, they may not know who that is.
Right.
So
And if he go to
that's
his,
why.
if he talking to his African Senate, he better not say Osiris. Then he gonna say Osar. It's his audience, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
Right.
that makes
I
a
mean,
big
it just
difference to
seems
me,
like
man.
if you're teaching, you would use them both though. Like the original is Asar. Uh, Greeks call him Osiris. Something like that. Instead of this is
Now
his
again,
name.
listen, you'll hear them dropping that. They'll drop that, what you actually saying. Then they might go to talking, and they'll tell you, well, in Africa we call it a saw, and then they might go back to talking and they say Osiris the whole time, the rest, but they don't gave you that information. If they're in front of a black audience, they gonna tell you it's a saw, and then they'll use a saw. And again, I don't watch so much, and I used to get, that's why I don't get hung up on it so much, because I done seen the scholars do it when I know they know better. So I'm like, it must be something different. But they will drop the the thing of what the original titles are. And I don't know if that's out of habit. I don't know why they flip flop. When again, I understand what you're saying, but I've seen and I know who know better still throw them Greek terms in. So I just learned, okay, they my scholars. I can't be mad and berate them or nothing
Well,
like that.
they're speaking to their audience. So I mean, like you said, they speaking to their
Right,
audience. Like
right.
so like I said, they might not know who a set is, but they know who ISIS is. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So you got to let them know. So this is who you're talking about. So
Yeah.
yeah. So every time you speak on them, you got to speak to what they know. I get it.
Yeah.
But,
Hey, so let me just share this part too, man. You
but,
guys know I used to get bent way out of shape with that, right? I still correct
mhm.
them on lines and stuff like that, right? But so if you look at the top of the title, they got APEP and they got
Apophis.
right? So what I want to point out is from my studies, anything ending in IS, OS, or U or US is Greek, right? So it's an easy way to figure that out. Anything with IS, and I got a few names down here that me and Jamie was talking about, and I brought that up to him too, and but he knows it. So just remember anything with OS, US, or IS is a Greek terminology.
Well, APEP is so when they got APEP and Apophis, they doing it right because APEP is the original.
Correct. Correct.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's what
exactly.
I'm pointing out. This is exactly what
Right.
I'm pointing out. Okay.
But more people know about Apophis than they know about APEP, if that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
All these kids know about Anubis, but don't know shit about Ptah. Right?
Well, Anubis would in his actual form would be Anpu. If you say it Anpu,
Yeah,
they
Ampu.
would know what you're talking
That's what
about.
I meant. That's what I meant. Ampu, not Ptah.
Yeah, yeah. Everybody know about Horus. Horus and Jesus. They don't say Hebrew. They always go Horus versus Jesus.
Right, right. Drive me crazy, man. But I've learned not to get caught up on it too, man. That's why I look through these videos, man. I'm going over and over and over, man, and then I just let it go, man. Because I got shit to do. So when we can explain it, right? So, all right, I'm good.
I mean,
At
we
the
would
end
have to
of the
be
day,
careful. We have to be careful because what people would do is they'll separate them. They'll
That's what I'm
separate the two.
saying.
You feel what I'm saying? They'll say that no, Ampu is Ampu and Anubis is someone else, right? You know what I'm saying? That they'll try to play that. Like Horus Horus and Isis is not Asar and Haru. No, that's no, they'll try to play that.
You
I've
mean
seen that
Sarah and
before.
Upset?
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So Osar and Set, no, that's Osiris and Isis. You know what I mean? And
Right,
and,
right,
and
right.
So that's why I said we just got to make sure that when they mention one, don't leave out the other.
Right. Right.
That's all.
Eric, you need to say anything?
No. I'm actually I'm parked. I'm packing my stuff up and going to the crib. So I'm just listening.
Okay. Carrie, you want to say something on that?
No, thank you though.
Okay.
That were used to counter Apep's malevolence. Bastet was the goddess of warfare and protection, often depicted as a lioness or with a lioness head. She fiercely defended Ra against Apep's attacks, using her strength and valor to repel the serpent's advances. Set, the god of storms, chaos, and the desert, harnessed the tempestuous forces of nature to challenge Apep's disruptions. Set acted as Ra's bodyguard during these voyages, and his power made him a formidable ally in the battle against the god of chaos and destruction. Horus, the god of the sky, was associated with the falcon and was often regarded as a solar deity. He aided Ra in his daily journey across the sky and fought alongside him to protect the solar boat from Apep's attacks. Sobek, the crocodile-headed god, was another deity known for his strength and protective qualities. He was often invoked to defend against the malevolent intentions of Apep. Isis, although primarily associated with maternal and nurturing aspects, she was also considered a powerful and protective deity. She played a role in the rituals and spells aimed at safeguarding Ra from Apep's influence. The outcome of these battles was not just symbolic, it held the destiny of the world in the balance. Each victory for Ra was a resounding affirmation of the forces of light and order against the encroaching darkness of chaos. These battles served as a powerful allegory for the eternal struggle that underlies the human experience, where the forces of light must continually contend with the encroaching darkness of chaos. The ancient Egyptians saw in these daily battles a reflection of the ongoing challenge to maintain equilibrium and harmony in a world constantly threatened by disruption. The battles between Ra and Apep were not mere myths. They were a profound reminder of the ever-present need to uphold Mahat and defend the cosmic order against the relentless forces of chaos.
Hey, you see, he just gave us the principle behind that. You see
Yeah,
that?
exactly. That's why I said this is a good. It's gonna get better.
Yeah, that was slick right there. He kind of gave us, he gave us one of the principles.
Yeah, and then
That's slick.
then prior to the principle, he showed the offset of what's not our color culture. So the lady. So it's still that bullshit.
Yeah, but still, I'm just saying. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
I mean, even then, they didn't even mention canoe. Canoe was on that boat too.
Right.
Yeah, but yeah, go. No, I just wanted to show people that it ain't just myth. It's principles behind that.
Yeah, they going
I
deeper
mean,
into that.
and yeah. Okay, let's go.
Despite the formidable adversary he faced in Apep, Ra consistently emerged victorious in their epic daily battles. With the unwavering support of the gods and goddesses who stood by his side, Ra managed to maintain the cosmic order and ensured that the light continued to shine upon the world. Ra's triumph in these daily battles represented the ultimate triumph of order and light over the relentless forces of darkness. It was a symbol of hope and the profound significance of preserving cosmic balance, reminding the ancient Egyptians that, no matter how formidable the challenge, the forces of light and order would ultimately prevail.
Wayfair presents mattresses. Stack up the savings with mattresses starting at just $300 with big deals on big brands. Our sleep experts can help.
However, Ra was not always victorious. In the ancient Egyptian worldview, solar and lunar eclipses were often seen as ominous signs and believed to be a temporary victory for Apep over Ra. When the moon appeared to swallow the sun during a solar eclipse, it was thought that Apep had momentarily succeeded in his malevolent mission, casting the world into darkness. These celestial events were met with a mixture of fear and awe, as they served as a stark reminder of the ever-present threat of chaos in the universe. The ancient Egyptians recognized that the periodic occurrence of eclipses was a reflection of the ongoing cosmic battle between Ra and Apep. It was believed that the fellow gods who assisted Ra in his battles would do everything in their power to free him. Even in these moments of apparent victory for Apep, the sun was always expected to emerge from the shadow, reinforcing the idea that the forces of order and light would ultimately prevail. Solar and lunar eclipses held a significant place in the Egyptian worldview, as they were seen as a reminder of the precarious balance between cosmic forces. They were moments of uncertainty, but they also underscored the enduring hope that the light would always conquer the darkness. As mentioned before, the conflict between Ra and Apep was not a singular event, but a daily representation of the eternal struggle between order and chaos in Egyptian mythology. It underscored the ancient Egyptians' profound understanding of the ongoing tension in the universe between forces of light and darkness. While Ra emerged victorious each day, the battle was far from over. The battles between Ra and Apep symbolized the cyclical and never-ending nature of the cosmic struggle. It represented the daily cycle of the sun, believing that every sunset would be followed by an eventual sunrise. The story of Ra and Apep taught the ancient Egyptians that chaos was an ever-present and relentless force, requiring constant vigilance and divine intervention to preserve the cosmic equilibrium. In the cyclical nature of these battles, the ancient Egyptians found a reflection of their own lives and the continuous struggle to maintain order in the face of chaos. To the ancient Egyptians, Apep was not a deity to be venerated or honored, but a malevolent force to be feared and resisted. He represented the eternal challenge of chaos to the cosmic order they held dear. Apep's existence was a stark reminder of the ever-present danger that chaos posed to the cosmic equilibrium. Apep's constant attempts to disrupt the cosmic order and swallow the sun reinforced the Egyptians' belief in the delicate balance of the universe. He was a symbol of the forces that sought to unravel Mahat, the concept of cosmic balance and harmony. The ancient Egyptians viewed Apep as a formidable adversary that had to be overcome daily, much like the challenges they faced in their lives to maintain order and harmony. In their perspective, Apep was a malevolent reminder of the unpredictable and disruptive nature of chaos, always lurking at the fringes of their existence. The story of Ra and Apep was not just a myth, but a profound narrative that resonated with their own experiences and the need to defend against the forces that sought to plunge their world into darkness and disorder. The Egyptians didn't seek to appease Apep, but rather to defend against him. They recognized that he represented an ever-present threat to the cosmic balance and harmony they held dear. Apep's character was that of a relentless adversary, a force that had to be vanquished rather than placated. The focus of the Egyptian religious and mythological practices was not on Apep himself, but on the protection and assistance of the gods and goddesses who fought against him. Therefore, rituals and religious observances centered on invoking the support of these divine allies to safeguard against the disruptive forces of chaos. Rituals involving Apep were aimed at invoking the protection and assistance of the gods and goddesses who stood with Ra in his battles against the malevolent serpent. These rituals were designed to ensure the continuity of cosmic order and to defend against the forces of chaos and destruction. Rituals involving Apep often included the recitation of specific spells and incantations. These magical utterances were believed to harness the power of words and divine intervention to safeguard against Apep's malevolent intentions. They were carefully crafted and passed down through generations to ensure their efficacy in defending against the forces of chaos. These invocations were believed to draw upon the wisdom and power of deities like Thoth, Bastet, and Set, who played vital roles in defending Ra against Apep's relentless assaults. Amulets and talismans, often shaped like protective deities or animals, were frequently used in these rituals. These objects were believed to possess inherent protective qualities, and wearing or carrying them was thought to ward off the malevolent influence of Apep and other dark forces. Rituals would also involve offerings made to the gods and goddesses who stood with Ra in his battles against Apep. These offerings, such as food, incense, and symbolic items, were seen as a way to seek the favor and protection of these deities. They served as a tangible demonstration of devotion and a means to establish a connection with the divine. Some rituals took place at sacred sites, such as temples or designated areas associated with the gods and goddesses. These locations were considered places where the divine presence was more accessible, and rituals performed there were believed to be particularly potent in seeking protection against Apep's disruptive influence. These rituals were performed with the belief that divine intervention and support were necessary to maintain the cosmic equilibrium and to prevent chaos from gaining the upper hand. By performing these rituals, the ancient Egyptians sought to align themselves with the forces of light, order, and harmony, just as the gods did in their epic battles against Apep. The rituals reinforced the Egyptians' understanding of the precarious balance between cosmic forces and their need to uphold Mahat. The story of Apep, the god of chaos and destruction, and his eternal battles with Ra, the sun god, is a testament to the profound understanding of the ancient Egyptians regarding the delicate equilibrium between order and chaos in the universe. Apep's existence symbolized the ever-present threat of chaos, and his constant attempts to disrupt the cosmic order were a reminder of the ongoing struggle to uphold Mahat, the concept of cosmic balance and harmony. The story of Apep and the rituals surrounding it serve as a timeless reminder of the enduring human endeavor to uphold balance and to protect the world from the encroachment of darkness. The ancient Egyptians recognized that the battle against Apep was not merely a mythological narrative, but a reflection of their own experiences and the eternal need to defend the forces of light and order against the relentless forces of darkness and chaos.
Hey man, that was slick right there, man. That was pretty slick. That was pretty slick, man. So okay, so just real quick, man. I just wanted to add this. That's as always, Unc. That was a nice video, King. Uh, but see, this is a story that people have heard before, right? Right. This should be a familiar story, kind of like, you know what I'm saying? Because you can look at that as the as far as the biblical standpoint, you can see where it's good and evil. The devil, Satan, and God per se. You know what I mean? Battling, or you know what I mean. Keep your faith. Don't let Satan in. Right, right. I mean, so this concept, so, you know what I'm saying, should be kind of familiar to people, but it's just what we're saying is what you know these stories that you heard are way older than this new concept that you guys got, that these people got with the devil and God and the devil, right? Right. I mean, can you connect the two? Can you connect this with that? Can y'all connect that?
No doubt about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you don't study this, I mean, you can watch this and have no clue, you know, even though it's pretty clear, right? They depicted it really clear, man. You should be able to identify. But I think people that don't study the history or the Nile Valley culture, they'll still be just aloof, you know, they won't get it, you know, so it's always good to study the culture.
Yeah, that was yeah, that's slick right there, man. I mean, because you know they go into telling you what the principles are in some of these stories or some of the principles. What you know what our people seen and what we thought and how we seen things, how we seen the natural world around us, right? You know what I mean?
Right.
And yeah, man, like yeah,
And
that's
the way their communication of that was through mythology.
right.
Their mythology was also it was talking in the form of symbolism. It's telling a story that's not a historical story, but it got many symbols that's dealing with ancient things that happened as far as the concept of what they believe, as far as spelling. Whenever you deal with these creation stories, that's what they call cosmology, the origin, the genesis, you know. So in the Genesis, one of our creation stories, there's an antagonist. This antagonist is basically the origin. Want this space back. It actually represents the waters of noon, this undifferentiated, this nothingness, there's many things, but you cannot, it's so incomprehensible, you can't name them. And then you got this creation that took place within inside this here. this here, this original primordial state want that space back. That makes sense?
Oh yeah, ain't
Yeah.
no question.
So we're part of this creation. We on side of creation. And we saying, okay, we gotta do Mayat. Mayat is the balance that stops chaos from coming into our community, into our country, into our continent. You know, we got to practice Mayat. This was their whole concept. You with me? And if we don't, these forces of destruction gonna come and it's gonna end. Within their writings, you almost say you can only hold it back for so long because they understood anything created gonna eventually be destroyed. They just had this concept of, okay, make sure we understand we are connected to what's before creation. We not a part of creation. That makes sense? That was the knowledge. Don't fight for creation because that's gonna end. That's like fighting for your body. Your body was created and it's gonna end. It got a born date, it's gonna have an expiration date. When we talking about this soul stuff, that's when we start talking about this thing that we're talking about eternal. Has no birth, has no end. When we talk about the concept of the creator, you know, that we connecting to that. Now, as bold as it might sound, and somebody might say, well, you a fool, you talking crazy. This was our ancestors' concept. They practiced Mayat to make sure that they had order. And the opposite of Mayat would be APEP, or something they call Ifsit. And that just was the natural order, you know. Did they believe that it was a big snake out there in the, universe like that? Again, that get crazy. You know what I'm saying? That's why we mixing up mythology. You know what I'm saying? Did they believe that the sun and some gods was going around on a boat with the sun and fighting a snake? No, we're getting goofy when we say stuff like that. But, you know, the whole concept of reincarnation or The cycle was that sun coming up in the morning. As we understand the year, 365 days. We understand cycles. We're going through winter now. After winter must come spring. You know, we understand those different cycles. So that's just life.
Hey, so let me ask y'all this. Let me
Yeah.
ask you this. Let me ask y'all this real quick. Okay, so okay, so in okay, so in if Christianity would stop trying to make their shit literal, a lot of it is a lot of it, not all of it, a lot of it is a watered down version of our our uh of our intent. If they would, if they is right, so if they would take that book as a mythological book instead of a literal book, and try to extract the principles out of the stories instead of trying to claim that the stories are real, is why you're missing the principles out of the stories, because you're trying to make them real, so you don't look for the principles out of the stories, right? Uh, so if you were to take the principle, then you would have a watered down uh, idea, should I say? You have a watered down idea of our of Nile Valley culture, King. Right now, think about that for a second. Now, but just think about that for a second. I said you would have
a watered down version,
a watered down idea. Now make sure it's a watered down idea of Nile Valley culture. If they could stop trying to make it literal and just extract the meanings, because now we gotta agree that some of their stories mimic our stories. Am I right or wrong?
right?
Yeah,
Y'all agree?
Gerald
Y'all agree
Massey
with that?
Gerald Massey made that very clear in his study in his work of ancient Egypt, light of the world. He made it very clear that, like you said, if they would just understand the origin of the story, they would have a better understanding of its purpose.
Right. Right.
But he said at best, you just have a watered down version because
Watered
they
down,
would
right.
they would have had to have gone through the process to truly understand it. But yeah, Massey said that in so many words in this book. Yeah, sure
They
did.
still, they're still trying to make it their own. You know what I mean?
But
Even though
see,
different,
they're
even
trying
though
to grasp an idea out of their concept of thinking. They have to open their mind up in order to grasp it. And I think the struggle was that either Constantine or whoever, they all understood that the common guy wasn't going to be to digest this information just by us throwing it at him in the way we wanted him to digest it, and nah. So they had to. There's no way. Hell, if it took learned men some time to understand this shit, we struggling trying to get this shit right. You know damn well it had to be watered down for somebody to be able to recite, regurgitate a few sermons, a few verses, and pretend they know what the hell they talking about. Same shit.
but it still goes back to me the they just want to disown the culture. They can't give any credit, man, to where credit is due. They don't want to admit the where the beginning began at, and who was there and all this stuff. So hell no, they can't accept that and we be able to explain it because it's not going to be given to them that way. And then,
but if
other people are not willing to go and do research outside of that. I was one of
Yeah.
them. I didn't even have the idea to go do the research out of it.
You didn't think you needed to. No one. A lot of people don't think they need to.
Exactly.
Because they believe what they got was how it was written, and it was by God. And if God wanted to be taught another way, it would have been written a different way. And so, however it was presented to you, is how it was meant to be.
Yeah, and then when you go present this research to your pastor or family member or whatever, then you crazy. You're crazy.
Good luck.
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
well, the thing is, okay. So listen, man. Okay, so
They can't help but to water it down.
well, it has, yeah, because see, listen, I'm saying like so if you are taking a story literal, like this is real history, like this happened, right?
Like what Gerald was talking about. You see a solar boat, and in the video, APEP wanted to eat up the boat and Ma'at, or was it Bassett? Either way, he wanted it. One of the ladies was with Ra on that boat, and they mentioned they wanted to eat the whole boat up and take them out too. So,
hey, I didn't get a chance to finish listening to that because I was in transition. What did he ever get into explaining exactly who APEP was, or did he just kept saying the forces of darkness or something like that? Or did he explain exactly what the Africans interpreted APEP to be?
Yeah.
Other than the serpent was the symbolism, but what did he represent? Did he ever get to that?
I don't think so, but you can.
Oh no, I just want to know. I just want to know, did he get there? I mean, we all know, right? Or do we know?
Yeah, I think we know, but
Okay.
you can expound on it.
Okay. I don't think we know then. Huh?
Yeah.
You don't think I know then?
No, I don't think we know then. Because it should be evident, but I'm just wondering, why didn't he just say it?
Well, he gave a principle. He gave a reason. He gave the reason for APEP and the reason for Ra and what the Ma'at and what
okay.
what we were supposed to do to keep chaos out of our lives and everyday lives, and he went into that.
But I know he said. Remember, he said it was a daily battle between. So
it's a daily. He in turn he said there was a daily battle every day in everyday life. The Africans seen it as a daily battle every day to be able to hold on to Ma'at and keep Ma'at.
And to resist the spirit of APEP.
So that way there would be no APEP. APEP wouldn't be able to enter in.
So it's saying that there was a way to
keep chaos out of your life.
Okay. So he looked at APEP as being chaos.
Yes.
Right. Okay. So give us your description, Eric. You said we don't know, so just give us your description of what you was asking, man. So
because I wanted to know, was he relating, because he was saying the sun was battling, had a daily battle with what, another element of the earth, or was it battling, because you had two different things going on? So I'm just trying to see what was Dude's description, because I missed it.
So here's
was he saying the sun was having a celestial battle with other constellations, and that was APEP, or was he saying that the sun was battling with darkness that occurs every day?
What he was saying, what he was explaining, and he used the sun and the light and the darkness as an ideology, a picturesque. But what they were talking about is how we handle situations, how humans have to handle human
condition. I got you. Okay, yeah.
He made that really clear in the video. But I sent the video to you too, Eric.
Oh yeah. Okay, yeah. I'm gonna have to watch it
because what I think you getting at is how we deal with things,
Well,
right?
and not only that, but how do we interpret? Because if we don't have the proper interpretation, ain't no way you're gonna teach somebody else.
Correct. Correct. And
There's
then
no
so
way.
the reason,
What the whole thing, as I said too, from me understanding from the mythological concept, like I said, if you understand the story with Ra and Apep is connected, Ra got his own creation story. That's Ra's creation story.
Mm-hmm.
And any time at the beginning, there's noon, the waters of noon, is chaos. That's always there. Creation happens still within the waters, if that makes
Sure.
sense.
Within chaos.
Imagine that.
Right. Out of chaos came order.
Because chaos is always still on the outside, ready to come back and take its territory. That makes sense?
yeah. So let me just
So in the
let me just make this.
beginning, Ra creates. It's a creation, and Apep is just the nemesis of creation. He's the foe. If you that made this here space and trying to have this here, I'm the enemy. So according to that whole mythological scheme, you got to perform my yacht. You got to do these you got to do all this here to keep Apep away. You know, but at that point, I look at Apep also as the waters of noon. So in that aspect, it ain't really just an Apep gonna come back at the end, period. Because creation is something that's not forever. It's not creation. Is not eternal. That's why you go through the cyclical and the rejuvenation or the resurrection process. That's why they look at that. That's so important. When that sun come up, okay, again, we won again. We won again. If you look at the end of anybody, what they call the end time stories, the apocalypse stories and all that. That's what they talking about too. At the end, this whole shit finna be over, you know, and all this, you know, everything coming to the end. It's the same concept.
So let me ask this real quick. So one thing that I wrote down was, the guy depicted in the video. He said, Apep is always waiting at the edges of the world view, right? And Gerald just explained that. And then so my question is, Sobek, the same cat that's at the in the judgment scene. Is Sobek the same character with the alligator head at the end of the judgment scene?
So might be in there, but he's not.
No, that ain't so bad.
What's that dude? What's that cat's name?
That's
you talking about Amit?
Amit.
Yeah. Okay, bad.
Yeah, Amit got the crocodile head, the hippopotamus body, and the lion.
Right.
It's 3 different composites with Amit. But he do got the crocodile head.
Yeah, man. So okay, so I was just saying that if they was to take away if they would stop trying to make the Bible literal and just try to extract the principles out of the stories. Forget about the characters. Characters is just a way of telling the story, right? Characters don't mean nothing. These characters ain't nobody. They just mythological characters. They just trying to give you a principle here and how to live, right? Now if they did that, that would be, like I said, a watered down idea of comedic thought. What y'all think? What y'all think about that?
I agree, man, because when I first got into this, one of the biggest disappointments at that time was, damn, they made it literal, and the Nile Valley philosophy clearly states that we use mythological things to promote healthy principle. All right, big difference. So like you're saying, Jamie, at best, you're gonna get a watered down version, but nevertheless, ain't lying to people saying that it's real, it happened, and and propagating all these dates and times, but can't come up with no damn bones or no archaeological findings and shit like that. So they found a tomb, with the rock rolled away, no bodies, and they still lied about Easter because Jesus said, Mary, don't tell nobody you see me. I'm ghost. I don't want my ass whooped no more.
Well, I say watered down idea because I say the idea is because you ain't really sure. It's just an idea. You just think, right? And so that's what I'm saying. You're not really sure. That's why I say it's a watered down idea. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean?
Gnosticism would be more closer to dealing with it on a level that we play with it.
What was it called?
Gnosticism.
Right.
Gnosticism would be more of an esoteric form of Christianity.
Right.
Yeah, but that ain't what Christianity. Shit, that ain't Christianity.
Now, Christianity fought against the Gnostics.
Yeah.
They had their concepts. They would play with symbolism too. They had different ideas. But the Christians wanted to, as you say, they wanted to be real. Gnostics would laugh at them at one time. Y'all take this as real? You got esoteric forms of most religions. Like in Judaism, they got some stuff they study, they call it Kabbalah. And in Islam, they got something that they study called Sufism. And we say in Kemet, when you hear mystery schools, or the Shaitan Neter, you had to be initiated into that. Or you could think that that was real. Not everybody in Kemet was literate into the sciences. You had to be initiated. They didn't just make you do it. You had to be initiated into it. You had to want to know about it. You had to reject.
Had to deem yourself worthy.
You had to have certain principles. Then you had to reject. Like, did a person have a bird head? And you have to ask them certain questions. And then, okay, you ready. Let me tell you who that was. That's an aspect of you. And you get initiated. But some people might ask when they're young. Some people might not ask till they old. They didn't make you do it, nothing.
Or did Jonah get swallowed by a whale when whale don't even eat meat?
Well, when you're taking it literal, if they said the man was swallowed by the whale, but if they said the man ate the whale whole, like that, they believe it too. It just don't matter.
Right. So would.
Right.
See, my interpretation, man, of APIP could be is different, is multiple. One, and based on what I've studied, was APIP could be looked at as the absence anywhere in the universe where there's the absence of light, absence of the sun. Now, because in parts of what I've studied, it says APIP was accompanied. He had some followers. He had some companies that rolled with him, including Set, which is considered the moon, right?
Right.
Okay. So were we looking at, and were they looking at the different planets and how they move in this solar system? And because in order to have a clear calendar and understanding of the sky, you've been studying a while. So to me, creating stories, describing what you're looking at, and then being able to apply aspects of your life to what you're looking at was because there's too many descriptions about how where was Apep laying? He laying in the west. Well, hell, don't the sun set in the west? Or he show up right at dawn? Well, that's right before the sunlight. So APEP is could it be a no? But my thing is, what did the African, other than saying that's just a darkness in your life? No, because you need darkness. Darkness is imperative. So I'm wondering what did they how did they make the association, or was it even made to the average person to understand these two different concepts of what APEP could represent? Something celestial and something right here within you.
Right. Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I don't really think people understand. They truly study. This is old astronomy. When you talk about the Bible, that's astronomy. So they truly studied the sky. So how are we gonna really understand what they understood? We're not studying the sky.
Right.
It's up there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, with the goddamn telescope, with looking at them and seeing and looking at, because there's what they begin what I know them doggone folks are doing. When you start being able to see and observe stuff that only happened every 60 years, and you begin to see the importance of keeping record of that, shit, they was on to something.
Right.
And that's a long time, bro. That's a long time. So my point is, there had to be some significant reason why you needed to know your position in this universe and what constellations or which other bodies, celestial bodies were present or were within, because maybe there are some effects that they taught that we're not getting, we haven't seen yet, or something that really has to do with gravitational pull or something else going on, because it was too much studying going on. They were looking up too long and deciphering it for too long to not it be significant for us to be not looking up. We got to be looking up at some point. You know what I mean? Am I making myself kind of that makes sense?
You making this clear, man.
It's like,
I think that's
damn,
clear.
what dudes was heavy, man. Damn, it was heavy. And so like I said, I really think that what we're talking about is the universe in which they saw it. Because at nighttime, you got a lot of action going on. You watch the stars long enough. First of all, they moving. They moving. Shit is moving in the sky. So man, they I would assume that at times some probably rested as much as they could in the evening just so they could stay the hell up and watch the whole night sky, because it was a show. And then to be able to make up stories or create stories behind what you watched, and then be able to say, hey, this, we can apply this to our daily life, or we can apply our daily life to what we see up in the sky and create stories that people could remember so they can know how to apply these things to their daily lives. So I wonder what happened first. Did they have knowledge of their daily lives and knowledge to say how we need to love and care and deal with each other, and then be able to create stories that they could teach for a millennia, because they knew certain things were going to be up there. You couldn't scratch them out, erase them, or change them. They're going to be there. Just attach the story to it. You'll always have that to watch.
Yeah, and I'm not clear on, which one came first. But what I am clear on is that there's a whole lot of nighttime movements going on during the daily.
Yeah,
The day,
yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah.
So
It's moving going on all the time, but you just can't see it because the sun is present. Everything's
well,
moving. It is moving 24/7, but we just can't see it as clearly because the sun during the day. When the nighttime, man, you watching that star be that Big Dipper be over here on your left side. You sit up there long enough, drink a little long enough, shit, it'll be over there somewhere. God damn,
yeah,
the Dipper didn't
yeah.
move.
Yeah, and what I'm saying too, because they're
You
both
didn't move.
powerful aspects, is I'm
Huh?
saying that there's enough darkness moving in the daylight through people, through actions, through things that's going on that we can see in the day, right? And
Oh
and
yeah,
and,
yeah.
and I liked how they tied it together. I mean, our culture, they tied it together with looking up at the sky and identifying, seeing the movements. Because one thing that was made clear on that video was there was a period of time where the people believed that APEP had won over, and that was during the eclipse. So what I know about the eclipse is motherfucker better be on their P's and Q's. In short, grassroots subscription would be attentive. Be attentive to, your and like they said, they're not trying to placate people. They don't want people to placate APEP. They want him to resist them, right? They want him to resist it. So there's plenty going on during the day, man, where we can see that the activities of illness in the darkness, man. But like you say, we got to look up, and I like how our culture, matched them together.
Yeah, that's beautiful, man. It's beautiful. It's amazing. And yeah, the more I learn, the more it's like, damn, you sharp folks, man.
Yeah.
Y'all know about Nat Turner, huh?
Nat Turner?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Y'all know one of his symbols for the attack was?
Say it again, bro.
Do y'all remember what one of his symbols to attack was?
What was it? I don't remember.
It was an eclipse.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay.
Right, because he always got that depicted with him in pictures.
Yeah, so again, if y'all ever know anything about eclipses, they always gonna be associated with, hey, you better watch out, it's an eclipse,
That's what I'm saying, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
You better be attentive. And what you gonna be attentive to?
Right.
Jesus coming back? Have faith in Jesus? No, man, you better be attentive to your own shit.
Right. With the myth on a higher level, you turn it into yourself. Again, right. From my understanding, this is how I play with it. If APEP is the antagonist of creation or Ra, and either APEP or Noon gonna come back, right?
Right.
That's just a fact. So on a daily battle, as we go through it, if I wake up that day, I won.
Right.
One day I ain't gonna wake up though. And my whole thing going back to Noon don't mean that everybody's going back because mine going back.
Mm-hmm.
But and at one time I used to think that was my reaction. That's still kind of like whenever I make my transition, that's over for y'all. I'm like that motherfucker in them books, boy. About me.
He said it's over.
I'm going back. But that's on the daily battle. If I wake up, I won. But it's one day I'm not gonna wake up. That makes sense?
So I'm just thinking, Gerald, you said when you go back to the Noon, it's over for y'all. Explain that.
Noon is the origin.
Well, I know what that is. Yeah, but what do you mean by
all our ancestors say? It's gonna go back to the Noon. At the end, it's gonna go back to the origin. That makes sense?
Without a doubt.
Eric said earlier about talking about these myths. So again, we're dealing with that myth of APEP and APEP going against Ra, right? Ra got a whole story. Ra got a creation story, right?
Yeah, that's right.
But then Ra got children in them stories.
Okay.
And when his grandson is Lasar, and throughout the story and Kemet and blah, 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 connect to Lasar. Connect to Lasar, you'll be all right at the end.
Right. That's
the whole concept. And if you're worried about the end, connect to Lasar. If you're worried about if you hear about, okay, at the end you're gonna be judged. And okay, y'all all gonna bow down. Okay, if I study my history and go back, y'all got a watered down version of Lasar in the being judged behind our 42 declarations of Mayat. If I take this on a daily basis, and I might not make it up tomorrow, I do my daily 42 I can do my 42 every day. Remember, I was talking to y'all about that. They didn't wait to no end times. They did it every day.
Right.
It was a natural thing. They didn't know if they were gonna wake up the next day, but that was their principle that they stood on, believed in. Not that I'm saying they built shit to show you. Not that I'm just saying. Not the
Yeah.
girl saying so.
Right.
Their whole culture is about that shit.
They
Building
believe, yeah.
statues, all types of crazy ass shit. We still don't understand. They
Hey,
was
they
about
believe.
that life.
Yes, sir.
So the connection to Asar, which was eternal, which is the grandson of Ra. It's all in that same story if we understand the whole mythological scheme. So once you connected with Asar, when APEP came back and won, everything went back to noon, you was all right. You had knowledge yourself. You knew you was one with the origin. You had no fear. You cool with that. I accept it. But if your mind and through reality and then try to understand that you connecting to something else, if you connecting to your body or connecting to whatever, you're gonna have some problems during your transition.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
according to the ancients, you coming back, you don't know. You can't go back to the source when you don't know. It's not gonna let you go back. You're not pure.
right,
So you come back to learn lessons. We're all here to learn lessons, to remember who we are. That's why we holler we the gods and we this and that and other now. We used to holler we was niggas. We say, nah, we gods, we divine. People who have knowledge of self.
right.
You ain't gonna stop saying that. And we only got that because we studied, we've done the research, we found out about what our ancestors were doing and connecting with, you know what I'm saying? And we live accordingly to those ways. At least try. We have a standard that has been set. We trying to raise ourselves up too, as I always say. All these different organizations that tries to raise boys to men and rites of passages. That's what that was about. That's what we're about. And when I first told y'all, we as black men get together and talk and chop it up about this type of shit. That's what we did in Kemet, in the Nile Valley civilizations. We wrote books, we read. We love to do this here type of shit.
Yeah,
Just
you
gotta
talking
get
about
back
what's in
to it.
you talking about what's on my background, right? In
Right.
my background picture,
Right,
right?
teaching and reaching, yeah, that's what that, and it was expected. Again, that point came to when we was brought here in America and they redirected it. It's the people on the streets that's reaching the young ones, the people that don't, teaching them the BS, and them young ones behind you getting killed out in the street because even though it's an elder, you're not really an elder, you're just an old man, and that's by design. It's by design. So when we go back to the the Black Panthers, the Black Panthers got in trouble because it was young brothers who was really from the streets starting to reach them young brothers and teaching
Right,
them revolution. And they were like, oh no, we're gonna stop that. You get the gang thing that come up out of that, which they are the bastards of the party. But that's
right,
me understanding and knowing my history. Going back to Kimmich, you always hear about that concept of Mayat and how they lived with each other. That's a concept of socially being around each other. And we start dealing with those principles. I have not did this. I ain't did this to my neighbor. I ain't went behind my neighbor back. I ain't killed. That's for us to live together.
right, right. And that's what I'm
Take
saying,
these principles
during the
amongst
clip.
each other. Yeah, we'll be cool amongst ourselves. But we doing those very things to each other, you know.
Yeah, and then during them eclipse, man, especially you gotta give special attention. The one thing I recognized in that video was they didn't say per se the location or the specific tribes or the states that this was they recognized APEP, but they did say those that studied Ma'at or followed Ma'at. So we know it's Africa, but all I'm saying is, they kind of slid that in and resisted putting too much into that. So that's just another thing I recognize.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Jamie, you want to say anything else on that? If not, Carrie, if you want to say something, and if not, then let's just jump to this little part in Seti's video.
All right, let's do that, man.
Did you get your point across, Jamie, that you was getting across?
Yeah. I was just saying, man. Like, that's just how I see it, man. And that, but we that was good, man. That was good.
All right,
Yeah,
so
I'm cool.
what you saying is even if they don't take it literal, they still starting in kindergarten.
I mean, to me, if you're taking it literal, you're missing the guy. You miss the message, man.
Yeah, without a
You,
doubt.
you're missing what they're trying to tell you, man. So you so caught up in it being literal that that you don't even try to apply it as a principle.
Right.
Right. So you don't I don't know, man. It's you can't. I mean, because why would you try to? I don't know, man. I got maybe some do though. Maybe some try to follow in the footsteps. I guess that's the point, right? Following the footsteps of Jesus.
Right.
Right. But but
Jesus
the
didn't do
stories.
that.
I'm talking about.
Jesus didn't
I'm talking about the stories. I'm talking about the stories itself. Just the stories itself, man. If you were to take it like as it was as a myth and extract the principle out of it, you'll have a watered down idea of
What they was trying to teach.
right.
Yeah.
That's all.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying.
Carrie, you want to say anything about that?
As I was watching the video, I kept thinking about the concept of good and evil. And, I was raised in the Christian faith, so it was God and the devil, and it was depicting that. What amazes me is the origin of where those myths, stories, facts come from, and how Christianity just used them and copied them and made their own version of a myth and told us that was the truth and we had to believe that. And so once again, I'm in awe of learning and seeing the truth. And so I appreciate that video. Thank you.
Yeah, and there's something in that point that you made about we had to believe it. And there's something about you crack that damn Bible open, man, and you lose all common sense faculties, man.
Right.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Right.
Yes,
Right.
sir. Man, sir. Yes, you do, man. I don't want to. You know what? I'm glad you said that, man. I don't understand that, man. How do you do that? You have some really, really intelligent people, man. People that, what I'm saying, some really, really intelligent people, man. Really, people with doctor's degrees. And so, they have good common sense, man. Like, you can't just tell them anything, man, until they open up that Bible, man. At that point, man, they're willing to accept anything, man.
Yeah, man. When I talked to Anthony, man, when I talked to Anthony about this, man, it just shook his whole system, man. And
Which
hey, in case Anthony watches this sometime, man, peace to you, Anthony. we know you just got that knee replacement, man, and you know, big ups to you. And
Oh yeah, we got it.
we send
Yeah.
the ancestors prayers and healings, and like I said to him, you know, make sure you take extra care of your own self.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's jump on Teddy
yes,
for just
sir.
a second, man.
Yes,
It's
sir.
gonna,
Yes, sir. Yes,
it's
sir.
gonna
Let's get
stir
it,
up a
man.
little something too, man.
Let's get it. Here you go, boy.
I
I
ain't
tell
got
you,
too much time.
every time.
Yeah. I ain't gonna stay on too much longer, but I just want to fuck with you guys and Gerald for a second.
Right.
So go
See what you get ready to do.
Yeah, go to settings and then go to about start at the 6 minute, maybe a little over 6 minutes, and then because he's talking about nationalism and you can't
you said 6 minutes?
Yeah, go to about 6:24 or something to do.
All right,
and
we're
what
gonna
you're talking about, you can't mix two, you know, you can't serve two masters, and but then he's going to jump into a little depiction of Malcolm X's speech, and then after that, you guys can listen to as much as you want to of that because he's going to be talking about pretty much having boots on the ground, and you know how set he gets. But my main point of showing this was to get some clarity, if clarity is necessary, because I know we have Malcolm X enthusiasts on the panel, so. Yeah, that should
We'll
be
see
good.
where he at.
All right, so y'all ready? Now I don't know how this okay.
So let's just acknowledge General Seti. You know, that's our dude from
All
Detroit.
right, yes.
He got Seti University, Seti's Patreon, Sarah Sutin Seti's live streams on YouTube, and then he got Too Hot for TV on his Patreon. So, you know, big ups to you, Seti, and I know Seti don't mind sharing these.
All right.
Black nationalism must be your religion. That just show you, you know, it must be your religion. You know, you can't, you know, and that's it. Because, you know, even in the Bible, it says you cannot serve two masters because you're going to love one and you're going to hate the other. You see, and so, you know, in his thinking, you know, Islam trumped some black power on the global scale, you know, where he was willing to engage with Arabs and shit and this, that, and the third, which we not gonna do. We will never do no shit like that because, you know, you can see what the Arabs is doing to Africa right now today. You see, and even if it wasn't, I still wouldn't engage him. You see, you know, and so that was the naivete in that. And we don't know where Malcolm X would have grew, you know, but he was most definitely in love with Islam. So I don't believe, you know, maybe he would, maybe he wouldn't. Who knows? He was an evolving, you know, an evolving man. He was always learning. He was always studying. And I know he was, you know, very close to Dr. John Henry Clark. And I'm quite sure that, you know, Baba was, you know, dropping some knowledge on him. And it was quite evident because Dr. John Henry Clark was one of the, you know, the principal scholars that helped him put that charter together for the African American Organization of Unity. You know, and so I know I know he was dropping some knowledge on him about, you know, and so that's, you know, but in saying that, you know, this is Old Testament Malcolm. You know, this is not New Testament Malcolm where he, you know, maybe took his foot off of Martin Luther King neck a little bit. You see what I'm saying? I'm gonna play the Old Testament Malcolm. You see that, you know, he told it like it TI is. You feel what I'm saying? So let me get this all the way to the beginning and let me get this up here. Let me get this up here and let's listen to what Malcolm X, you know, Old Testament Malcolm X thought about Martin Luther King.
Suggested also that this movement preaches a gospel of violence.
No, the black people in this country have been the victims of violence at the hands of the white man for 400 years. And following the ignorant Negro preachers, we have thought that it was godlike to turn the other cheek to the brute that was brutalizing us. And today, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad is showing black people in this country that just as the white man and every other person on this earth has God-given rights, natural rights, civil rights, any kind of rights that you can think of when it comes to defending himself, black people we should have the right to defend ourselves also. And because the Honorable Elijah Muhammad makes black people brave enough, men enough to defend ourselves no matter what the odds are, the white man runs around here with the doctrine that Mr. Muhammad is advocating violence when he's actually telling Negroes to defend themselves against violent people.
I see. Well, Reverend Martin Luther King preaches a doctrine of nonviolent insistence upon the rights of the American Negro. What is your attitude toward this philosophy?
The white man pays Reverend Martin Luther King, subsidizes Reverend Martin Luther King, so that Reverend Martin Luther King can continue to teach the Negroes to be defenseless. That's what you mean by nonviolent. Be defenseless. Be defenseless in the face of one of the most cruel beasts that has ever taken the people into captivity. That's this American white man. And they have proved it throughout the country by the police dogs and the police clubs. 100 years ago, they used to put on a white sheet and use a bloodhound against Negroes. Today, they have taken off the white sheet and put on police uniforms. They've traded in the bloodhounds for police dogs, and they're still doing the same thing. And just as Uncle Tom, back during slavery, used to keep the Negroes from resisting the bloodhound or resisting the Ku Klux Klan by teaching them to love their enemy or pray for those who use them despitefully. Today, Martin Luther King is just a 20th century or modern Uncle Tom or a religious Uncle Tom who is doing the same thing today to keep Negroes defenseless in the face of attack that Uncle Tom did on the plantation to keep those Negroes defenseless in the face of the attacks of the Klan in that day.
I mean, goddamn, Malcolm.
Hey, let him think just a little bit more.
I mean, damn, can you be any clearer? You feel me? Say, goddamn it, these white people pay Martin Luther King to keep niggas defenseless. Out there, you out there and you marching and they busting your ass upside the head. Niggas say, oh, I forgive you. Yeah, I forgive you. I forgive you. You bust my head open. I'm bleeding. I'm leaking like a motherfucker. They sitting in the goddamn diner and shit. Motherfucker come in and bust a pie over your motherfucking head and crack and pour all type of orange juice and goddamn milkshakes over your motherfucking head. And you
go forward just a little, Jamie.
You understand? In shame.
I don't know where to. Just some.
Okay.
Maybe about 3 minutes.
Go up 3 minutes.
Yeah. Okay. About 14 something.
Right there.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Nobody who would want to go to a white man's city where you got to walk in the streets while if you on the sidewalk and they come down the sidewalk, nigga, you got to go in the street. You see, and then they got, nigga, you couldn't even laugh in front of white people. They had what they call laughing barrels. And if you had to laugh, nigga, you had to take the top off the goddamn laugh and stick your motherfucking head down in the goddamn the barrel. You understand?
I put the laughing barrel on Sankofa
in front of white people.
I put the laughing barrel on Sankofa.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. Hold on.
See, and so and you talking about our image was destroyed, nigga. Where everything you look up at, you see sambos and jigaboos and all type of. That's why we didn't want to be African. You see, they did a number on our ass. That's why we didn't want to be African, because when we looked at Sambo and we looked at buckwheat and we looked at all these jigaboo niggas, you see, we saw the ridicule and we saw, that we know, and they told us that niggas in Africa was goddamn cannibals and shit. You see that they was cannibals. They was running around with thongs on, screaming ooga booga with a goddamn monkey bone.
These are those rhombohedron crystals in your pineal gland. When those crystals
Hey,
become
let's pause it there for a second, JB.
On and they one string.
Hey, because Sadie going in, but I just want to hear some of you guys' thoughts on that, and I just want to make it clear that he said this is Old Testament Malcolm, not the point where he took his foot off Martin Luther King's neck, and then different views, and me and Gerald talked about this, so go ahead. Let's switch back to the screen, our screen, Jamie, just for a second. All right. Anybody want to talk about that?
Yeah, I ain't gonna touch that, man.
He was on point on everything he was saying at that time. It's a time later that he wouldn't speak out against Martin like that, or it was some lawsuits and stuff out and whatnot. But deeper than that, I understand what happened. Something happened to make him back off. So as he talking right then, and how he's saying how strong Nation of Islam and how they'll defend themselves. There was an incident happening in California where some members got assaulted. Somebody got killed. One of the main members got killed, and everybody thought that Nation of Islam was going to do something, and they didn't do nothing. And then he had to go back to New York, and that's what they were saying. Oh, I thought y'all, And he had to say, well, Elijah Muhammad was the one who said, hey, we're going. I told you we'll lose some soldiers. It ain't up to us. It's up to Allah. So that would change his stance when we say he backing off and not being so aggressive on that. Yeah, it was an incident happened to the Muslims, and they kind of turned the other cheek. And he was talking about, how Allah bringing planes out the sky. A plane might have went down. He tried to say something like that, but the people weren't going for it. They was ready for some action. That eventually that was his break. Also, a part of his break away from the Nation of Islam. He wanted to do more, and he found out that he really couldn't. It was more a spiritual thing, So, as he was saying, and again, that without everything y'all heard, I think we talked the other day. I was saying the same thing about how Dr. John Henry Clark, had black nationalized Malcolm X, joined with his organization. They wrote the thing together, him going to Africa and connecting with the African nationalists, Yeah. So when I'm listening to him, I'm like, yeah, I just was talking about that the other day. So
yeah.
That's true. As I'm saying, if he's saying it's a new Malcolm who might not have said that, he couldn't defend that whole thing as far as not fighting back. Then when he became black nationalist, it was more of a uniting with Malcolm, if that makes sense. Yeah, we got different tactics, but we all got the same goal. And that's what he was telling them. Y'all need to give this man what he wants. If you don't, you're going to find somebody else who's going to do it another way. The problem with my thing with Martin was still just stuck on, nonviolence and his religious thing. I think he said he was saying something about, when he was dealing with Malcolm, more of his religious was more personal. That was a big thing about him. He'd say, everybody put your religion in the closet. They don't kill me because I'm a Muslim. They kill me because I'm black. They don't kill me because they don't kill you because you're a Baptist. They kill you because you're black. They don't kill you because you're black. He went through all that. got to put away that difference so we can all move forward. He was big on that Black United Front. You know what I'm saying? He said that's what he was saying. If, you know, if y'all, if I come with this Muslim stuff all the time, y'all wouldn't accept me as much. But even during that time when he was a Muslim, Malcolm never spoke as himself. I always gonna preface what Elijah Muhammad taught me. He always gonna say that. You know, I always hear him saying that when he getting into some what he was believing at that time is the Elijah Muhammad taught. You know what I'm saying? Later you'll hear about he studied and he read and he did this when they're dealing with the African part. You know.
Yeah.
That was the more conflict in his reality. In his origin, the Black people come from the tribe of Shabazz.
Right.
Yeah, out of Asia. And you'll hear him. He still state that religion. That's his name. He called himself El Malik Shabazz. Betty Shabazz was his wife's name. But you will hear him saying he African. You know what I'm saying? I'm one of 22 million Africans in America. You know, Plymouth Rock I didn't land on Plymouth Rock. Plymouth Rock landed on me.
Right. Right.
He was supposed to go to the United Nations. He was going as we as Africans in America, along with other Africans around. You know, he understood Pan-Africanism at the time too. Yeah, he was a student. His dad again was under Marcus Garvey. So I know I'm going deep into that, but that's just
Yeah, that's good though.
That dude that was he constantly was growing. My point. He had a foundation of Pan-Africanism first, right? His dad died in Lansing, Michigan.
Right.
When his dad died in Lansing, Michigan, his mama went crazy. It was too much. She went crazy, but they had the kids. They was, they just kind of was surviving during that time. And then later he said he came home and they took her to the institution. From that, he went to Boston.
So I just read about what happened to his dad, but I don't remember what happened to his dad. I mean, how he died.
They supposed to been some kind of thing down there called the Black Legion Cross.
Yeah.
Some kind of group like that.
Yeah.
And they supposed to have caught him and pushed him over a railway, and the train ran over him.
Yeah. Okay.
So at that point, before that, the family was tight. Everything was ran by the old man. Things were done. After the loss of their daddy, it got chaotic. And eventually he had to move to Boston and got raised by his half-sister. So while he young, he out there in them streets. And that's how he get into the thug life.
Right.
Get arrested and get back into spirituality, but people forget that his foundation already when he was younger was Marcus Garvey. He knew a little something about it. It was while he was young. So got into the Nation of Islam, became a super minister out of that, had their problems with that, and was more transitioning into this Pan-African. And they took his life.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's get back into this video a little bit, man. About maybe 5 or so more minutes, man, because there's a little bit in here that it's talking about boots on the ground. So.
Oh yeah, but the culture thing too. Yeah, that's true about what he's saying. That's just the all those American stereotypes that they did about Africans that made us self. That's what the the hater taught us to hate ourselves. Malcolm got a whole thing. Who taught you to hate yourself? You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Who taught you to hate the context of your hair, the color of your skin, all these different things? It's images, these movies and these things that we watch that was a part of them making themselves feel good and stereotyping us in a certain way, you know. So we looked up and we didn't like that shit, you know, but that was the only thing we had to look about ourselves. That's why we try to show the black sayings now, showing the positive images of us to our children. You know what I'm saying? We try to reverse that. We know the effects that it has, you know, so it makes you hate. I don't want to do no whatever. You know what I'm saying? Don't call me no African. You know, you get into a fight behind that shit, calling you black. You know what I'm saying? You know, they had that in the movie with Ice Cube and them in it.
Higher learning.
Now when they whatever it was, the little
You
dude
talking about
my
boys in
daddy
the hood?
say, we all from Africa, all of it. So I ain't from Africa. You know, I ain't no booty scratching from Africa. I'm from Crenshaw Mafia. And they
Yeah,
got me talking about
you talking about boys in the hood.
boys in the hood. Yeah, yeah. So it was showing that mindset was at that time when we was growing up. Don't say I'm from Africa. And the teacher was trying to tell them at this time, the signs that come out that we all come from Africa.
Lauren Fishburne.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. And his daddy had been teaching him. Furious Styles had taught him. What you laughing at? Yeah, I can teach. We all come from Africa. You know, embracing where you come from, Sankofa 180. You know what I'm saying? Knowing those are stereotypes, knowing we gave the world civilization. You know what I'm saying? Arts, mathematics, culture, writing. You know what I'm saying? We gave the world all that there in the crudest form and the best forms. You know what I'm saying? We've been fighting over that stereotype. Some of us have accepted, you know, the concept of just accepting that we are niggers sometime and calling each other or accepting we niggers is a form of that. That was something that the white man called us. And I remember when I first was coming up and my defense, just like everybody else, well, the only time I heard it was from another black person. You know what I'm saying? I never heard it from a white person. So it was almost like a term of endearment. What's up, my nigga? You know what I'm saying? You know, and I was told that, okay, white people didn't actually use it as a negative way. You know what I'm saying?
But that was down south in Houston, Gerald. Because it was used derogatory, you know, along with Tar Baby, you know, Jungle Bunny, you know, all these other things, man.
But listen, it could be, but on the other one, a white person can tell another white person, yeah, that's my nigga.
Right.
It ain't nothing. Yeah, what I'm saying is sometimes we'll try to say it was you, and again, derogatory is derogatory. So if I'm on the defense, like you saying, don't call it to me, no way. Period. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, but that ideology about it could be used two different ways, and that's my defense right then, which got me out of it. Well, a white person can, you know, come here, my nigga. They ain't meaning it to make you mad, you know.
Right.
That's what they call you, nigga. If you get mad every time, either they finna kill you or you gonna have to accept it. But they ain't just saying it mad. These my niggas.
Right. Come at a risk, though. It comes with a risk. Let's get about if anybody else want to share, or Gerald, you done? You don't got to be done, man. If you ain't done.
No, I'm ready to finish. I'm ready to finish. I just want to make sure we talked about that. I know he had brought that part up too, and he is correct on that about us not one. And again, I had made a real last week dealing with Malcolm X talking about you can't hate the roots of a tree, without hating yourself.
Right.
Hey, Eric, you want to speak on that?
Oh, I'm good. I'm right along with y'all.
Jamie, you want to speak on it?
I ain't touching that, man.
Carrie? But Carrie says she with you, Jamie.
I ain't touching that.
Let's get a few more minutes, man.
Okay. All right.
You guys good with that?
Let's go. I'm good.
Yeah.
Okay. He said we got to bang on that wicked ass beast daily.
Dennis dropped out and is endorsing.
Of course.
The guy from Florida.
And he talked all that shit about it. Hey, give Auntie love, Gerald.
What happened?
No, I was just saying, play that about 5 more minutes of that video.
Yeah, I was playing it. I'm playing it right now. You missed it?
I can't see it.
Oh wait, hold up. My bad. All right, here I go. I'm tripping, man. You know why? Because I ain't share it.
Right. You being
tripping,
greedy, man. You being stingy.
I know I'm tripping, man. My bad, man. Y'all ready? Damn, man. Wow. Okay. Y'all ready? Here we go, man.
Why we didn't want to be, that's why we didn't want to be African, and so we ran away from Africa. We assumed that was African. And then when you turn around and you see white people, they the scholars, they everything that's superior. White Jesus, the judge white, the policeman white, the teacher white, everybody goddamn white. So that's why motherfuckers aspired to be white, because they saw that as being superior. And so they taught us away from that. We got this one on here where Malcolm X say, who taught you to hate yourself? You see, who taught you to hate yourself? Who taught you, nigga, that you was aboriginal to an ice box called North America? I said that. Who taught you that you was original? See, it's still not, that shit you can play that right now. It ain't gonna never go nowhere. It ain't gonna never go nowhere. Malcolm X is the best teacher for Black Power 101. It don't get no better than that. He was the one that woke me up out of, and taught me. You see, he was my first teacher outside of my uncles, but he was the first teacher outside of my uncles that, that I gravitated to. Even when I was listening to Farrakhan, I was listening to Farrakhan before I was listening to Malcolm X, I was listening, but I was reading Malcolm X. But when I heard his voice, nigga, I left Farrakhan at that moment. I was like, wait a minute, because Farrakhan, he's talking some things, but Malcolm just straight politics. You know what I'm saying? He ain't, when you hear Malcolm X, he do have teachings where he get off into history, but when you hear Malcolm is political. He ain't all about that fucking religion and none of that shit. He's straight policies, he's straight politics. You see, he's showing you how to build a nation, and there's no better teacher than Malcolm X. You see, in that aspect, I'm talking about that Old Testament Malcolm X. You see, and so we hearing right here where he's saying that they paying Martin Luther King to keep us nonviolent. You see, and the thing is, I'm gonna tell you this, and we're gonna move on to the finishing, because this is not that long, but I want to get to the into give you some critique on this. You see what I'm saying? To give you some critique on this. It's just like you got some dogs and shit. You see what I'm saying? And you got when if you beat a dog long enough, if you the type of nigga that beat dog, you don't really know how to teach a dog. And I'm not comparing this, but we talking about spirit and we talking about nature. You see, if you beat a dog or you beat an animal and shit long enough, you could do what they call break its spirit. You see, and I mean, when you break, I mean, it could be actually a guard dog. You see, it actually could defend you if you train it right. You know, and this is just for a dog. I'm not saying you do this for a human, but it is in you know, it's comparable to humans too. When you can break a spirit, if you beat a motherfucker so long, they cower. You see, and that's what the dog will do. It'll cower if you beat it too goddamn long, and it don't, you know, use that natural instinct to defend itself. You know, anything should, if you beating it goddamn it should raise up on your ass and defend itself. Most things in nature do that shit. Even a goddamn bee. If you hit at that, some of these bees is aggressive. You swing at that motherfucker coming back. That motherfucker coming back. I didn't, you know what I'm saying? That motherfucker come. I remember one year they let some a strain of that motherfucking killer bee. Man, them motherfuckers was even in Detroit, man. Honest God, true. That was a bad motherfucking year for them goddamn bees. Man, I ain't never seen no bees like that. These was real. They had inbred with the bee in the United States. And man, I'm telling you, if you hit at that goddamn that motherfucker like a pit bull, believe it or not, that motherfucker ain't gonna lay down. That motherfucker gonna keep coming, nigga. You gonna have to go in the house. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, you remember that? Yeah, that was crazy. Them motherfuckers was aggressive. You see, but what you break a motherfucker's spirit. So what you do in essence, that's what Martin Luther King did. If you keep teaching a motherfucker to be nonviolent, you know what I'm saying? They're just like right now. You know, and you could tell it's in a nigga's spirit that he ain't got, you know, he'll be violent against his goddamn brothers. He'll be violent against his sisters, his own people. But if you tell that nigga, let's get violent on these oppressors, man, the bitch will come out of, man, straight bitch. And that come from, you know, being nonviolent in face of violence. See, this is what he's talking about. He's not saying just up and being violent just for no, he talking about in self-defense. In most nations on the planet, that's a right to defend themselves. That's why they got the goddamn gun laws in here, so that you have the right to defend. Even if, you know, they don't even want niggas to practice the fucking rights that is inalienable rights. By nature, it is your right to defend yourself. And in the face of even the most violent, ruthless motherfuckers, they don't even want us to defend ourselves. And so over a course of so many years and shit, you know, that's a part of getting free. And a lot of people, and we took out a major component to our freedom. Because anywhere on the planet, if you read about a motherfucker getting free, all you have.
Get yourself a new look for your home for the new year at American Freight. Want to upgrade your appliances? Check out our selection of open box appliances and save up to 50%.
Had to do was go to their Independence Day, and I guarantee you they overthrew their oppressor. Every fucking Independence Day, most Independence Day, some of them, you know, but majority Independence Day, if you look it up, I guarantee you they physically, militarily overthrew their oppressors. But when it comes to black people, we should not have no aspirations like that at all. You are considered a terrorist. Some people, you know, that's how it is. The man in power. See, the Americans, they, you know, I seen where, you know, when they was fighting for their revolution and shit and this, that, and the third, the English was calling them terrorists. I seen the paperwork. You know, they called them terrorists. Called them, you know what I'm saying? Called them traitors and shit. This, that, and the third. But them same motherfuckers that the English was calling traitors and you know, terrorists, George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, and all Americans call them they founding fathers, call them patriots and shit. This, that, and the third. So you have to understand it's in the nature. And soon as you get in, now you out of power, you a revolutionary. You gonna talk revolutionary, but when you get in power, you ain't gonna want nobody else talking like you was talking, because you in power and if they talking about removing somebody, they talking about removing you. So it depends on how that motherfucking wheel is turning. You see, one revolutionary, when
Pause
he
that right there,
gains
please.
control, you know, he don't want to hear no more revolutionary.
So I got so Gerald, this is for you, man. That point that he's making right there, you don't have to answer, but you can if you want to. What do you do to resist that position that he's talking about? Once you get in power, then you don't want to be you don't want to fuck with revolutionary no more.
I don't know how people define revolution. That's my point.
Well, what about just define it through your point? Just make it clear
revolution
to your view.
change. So when you get in and you don't change what you say that you was going to do, then that's a problem. So remember Obama ran for, he wanted to make change. That's the concept of revolution. So some people think, and maybe he think he's talking about fighting and this, that, and the other, and fighting. You might fight to get power. That might be your strategy to you know what I'm saying? To overpower what you might see as the unnecessary evil at that time or something.
So this question is specific to you, not nobody else. Specific to you. And there again, you don't have to answer it if you don't want to, but if you want to, you know, I'd like to. But I can call you up and ask you. I mean, but
so for me, that question?
That question is specific to you. And what do you do to not so what he was saying was once they gain power, so they don't want anything to do with revolutionary acts. So what do you do to resist that depiction? If anything.
I'm gonna stick to getting change. If whatever change that they put me in power to get, if the people put me in power to do something, I got the power of the people. Shit, let's do whatever, let's do it. And anybody in opposition that they're in opposition of the people.
Right.
I'm gonna let that be known, and we're gonna figure out what we need to do to solve that problem, because this is our goal. This is what the people want. That's the only way I look at it. So if somebody say I'm not doing something, that
so
might be.
He said specifically that they don't want to be revolutionary anymore. Once they get into power, they don't want to have a damn thing to do with revolution.
I would have to. He would have to give an example of who he talking about.
No, I'm not talking about an example of anybody else. I'm just talking about you. What would you do?
He just saw. I don't know who did that. Like I say, the best revolutionary I seen got power was Lumumba, and they killed him.
Right.
Even when I don't know, like say when we're dealing with Martin Luther King showed up. I don't give a damn what his strategy was. That motherfucker that showed up, and he got killed. He got shot. He got killed. Ain't nobody ever scared him. You know what I'm saying? So I'm feeling like that there, but he was, and the same thing for Malcolm. Nobody didn't scare Malcolm from not showing up and doing their things. So both of them were in that part revolutionaries. I would have to, somebody would have to give me an example because the most one we know as a revolutionary over here is the one who took over Cuba. You know what I'm saying? But once he became over that, he didn't just keep fighting everybody. That was just to take over, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, me and you will talk about this a little bit more.
Maybe you asking me another way, and maybe I'm missing. I hope I'm not missing it.
No, I think you answered it fair. I just me and you will talk about it more on the phone.
Okay.
All right. Let's get back to the video. You there, Jamie? Let's just get back to the video, Jamie.
Another
All right.
example he could be talking about, again, it could be is out of South Africa, when he got out of jail.
Yeah, and I'm not talking. I'm not saying that Malcolm wasn't revolutionary or Martin Luther King, and neither one of them. So, like I said, I'll get more detail when we talk.
Okay, y'all ready?
Is that cool, Gerald?
Yeah, no problem.
All right, bet.
Y'all ready, to roll?
Right.
All right, let's go.
Even though that's what got him where he's at, even though that's what got him where he's at was the revolution. But now that he's in power, he don't want to hear no revolution. He don't want to hear no shit like that. And so you have to understand that it's not wrong that you say it. It's about power, and people in power don't want to hear no motherfucker talking about taking power from them, even if they is a goddamn a tyrant. You see, even if they is a tyrant. And so that's why, you and then I'm gonna go back to Malcolm, and you see the reaction a lot of time in the way that we treat ourselves. You see, because we have not given ourselves the ability to get out of the predicament we in. Some niggas just want to walk by, they want to do everything but that, even though everybody else, they're just like, the white people in America. They tried to do everything before they went to war with the British. They tried to negotiate with them. They tried to be diplomatic. You see, the English was treating these white people over here like they was dirt. You see what I'm saying? They was over here growing all the motherfucking food for England and shit, this, that, and the third. And they would get, they would deliver all what they grew to the English, and they would sell them back the same shit that they grew for damn near 10, 15 times more than, what it cost them to put it in the ground. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, they would charge them 15% more or more than that. I got to get the percentage. And so they saying, what the fuck is they doing? How the fuck you gonna win like that? You see what I'm saying? How the fuck is you gonna win like that when the shit you just grew in the ground, they sell it back to you at 100%, 75%. You see, tax or what it took for you to put in 100 times. You see, and so that broke their back until they understood that they had exhausted all all aspirations of diplomacy and shit, and this, that, and the third. And so they had played every card that they can play. And sometimes in a situation, it can happen like that between nations, that it's just not going to be no diplomacy. We sit down, and there'll be some attempt to talk it out. And then once the two sides see that, that they're not going to be able to come to no agreement, they go to war. And see, that aspect of our existence has been removed. And so we should have probably went to war a long time ago. You see what I'm saying? For what is rightfully ours. You see, we should have, just like any other people in the world that respect themselves. We should have did that. But here we is 400 years later, and we stuck in a prison of, no ability to move one way or another. We stuck in a box. And the only way would we literally, the only way we literally can, or the way we see it is that somebody give us something. You see, we don't have no aspiration to do for self, and a lot of the reason why we don't have aspiration to do for self is that we don't even have a shit to show for the 400 years that we've been here. We don't even have shit to show for it. You see? And so when we look at all these empty ass cities and shit, and though we have a philosophy of upliftment, we still need some startup money. We still need this capitalism. You can have all the dreams you want. But most people, they got a dream. You got to go to the bank. Who own the bank? Who print the money? You see? And so, yeah, some people make excuses, but some people are in a box. See,
That's that cycle we was talking
we
about.
want to be clear about people who make excuses and people who are in a real box that can't, that can't, you ain't gonna just up, nigga, and get out of that box without A, B, and C. And if you got to get A, B, and C from this motherfucker, and he's not willing to be diplomatic and let us and give us what he owes us, then we should have at least the card to play. Well, if you're not gonna willingly give it, we're gonna go in your motherfucking pockets and we're gonna take it. That's it. And we've never had that. We've removed that. And so that's Martin Luther King. Stay nonviolent. Just stay out. They bust your head, nigga. We got.
Need bucks fast? Don't wait weeks for your tax refund. Get
some bandages for you. Just keep walking. You understand what I'm saying? If they run you over, we gonna get you up. We'll get you to the hospital, nigga. We got some down and out money for you. You understand? We'll make sure you and your family can eat for a couple of weeks and shit. But you better hurry up and get and heal and get your ass up and get back on out here. You see, that's it. Ain't gonna be no let's get down and let's get busy and let's do what we gotta do to get our freedom. And so that's what Malcolm X is saying, that symbolize, and we can see it in where we at today. We talk about all these cities, and I don't give a fuck if they got buildings, tall buildings. It's not about the fact that they had tall buildings. It's the fact, you had the Tulsas, and it was more than Tulsa, Oklahoma. We got to quit saying just Tulsa. You understand what I'm saying? They had affluent black cities all over the United States. We got to quit saying because we'll think it's just one city. No, it wasn't no goddamn one city. You see, it wasn't no goddamn one city. At one time, in the height of the car industry, Detroit was the richest city in the United States. I didn't know that. But back in the 60s and 50s, Detroit was when the car industry was the top industry in the United States. Detroit was the richest city in the United States. You see, it had buildings all over it. Man, you couldn't tell a nigga nowhere in the world that was true. And go if he went to Detroit today. You would be like, nigga, you lying like a motherfucker, man. Quit making up shit for Detroit. You see, quit making up shit for Detroit, nigga. That shit ain't true. You see, but at one point in time, so you had affluent black communities all over the fucking United States at one point in time. What the fuck happened? If they had the ingenuity to get it popping, and what the fuck happened? And you will see that it wasn't as if they just fell down some racist peckerwoods that jealous in their heart, nigga, who had more armaments than than black people. Black people have some armaments now, but ultimately they bring in the military. They're gonna come with the bigger gun, and ultimately, they destroy all these goddamn cities. And what they couldn't destroy, or they didn't destroy by destruction, suffocating that goddamn city, economically, and that was the fall, in 67 in Detroit, when they rioted, that was the downfall. At that time in 67, Detroit was the richest city in the goddamn United States in 67. But when they burnt that motherfucker down during those riots, that was their goal, to punish Detroit. And they moved all them white peoples out in the sub. They took their money, they took their businesses, and they moved that shit in the suburbs. And from the time they left, Detroit went downhill. You understand? From that point on, a lot of the car plants, them motherfuckers moved out the city. They chose to go to other places and shit until you got what you have today. You see, and that's how they punish us, because they control all the economy, and that is a card that must be taken from them. That's a card, and so that's why we talk about black power. We talk about black nationalism and shit, because that's what we need. Do you understand? That's what we need. We need, you know, in order, but it's it's got to be a tedious job, and we must stay on that. You understand? We must not move away from that in order for it to be real, you know, because it's hard coming from, and we could do it. You see, we could do it. It's a hard place to come from, I must say. It is a hard mentally where motherfuckers is today. You know, but it still could be done. It ain't like, no, it's not at all hopeless. It's a serious situation, but it's not hopeless. Let us let Malcolm finish this up.
The goal of Dr. King,
in the face of attack that Uncle Tom did on the plantation to keep those Negroes defenseless in the face of the attacks of the Klan in that day.
but the goal of Dr. King is full equality and full rights of citizenship for Negroes.
The goal of Dr. Martin Luther King is to give Negroes a chance to sit in a segregated restaurant beside the same white man who had brutalized them for 400 years. The goal of Dr. Martin Luther King is to get Negroes to forgive the people who have brutalized them for 400 years by lulling them to sleep and making them forgetting what those whites have done to them. But the masses of black people in America today don't go for what Martin Luther King is putting down. As you said in one of your articles, it's psychologically insecure or something of that sort. I forget how you put it. But you didn't endorse what Martin Luther King was doing yourself.
I do not reject his goals of full integration and full equality rights for American citizens. Do you reject these goals?
If you don't think that he's walking on the right road, I'm quite sure you don't agree that he'll get to the right place. And if you would classify his method as psychologically unrealistic, I think that if a man's method is psychologically unrealistic, which means the road or the means or the method that he's using, I think as a psychologist, you would be very doubtful that he would reach the right goal.
There is one correction, Mr. Malcolm, I'd like to make here. In that same piece that you're quoting from, I said that his methods are effective. His philosophy of love, of the oppressor, I thought, was psychologically burdensome.
Yeah. Yeah. So, you know, that's another thing, you know, forgiving. We hear Malcolm X talking about that. Martin Luther King want a motherfucker forgive these Peckerwoods. You see? Forgive them. Forget what they done to us. That's why we in this motherfucker. And that's why niggas, because we should have been, in all the frustrations of not having the outlet to do, niggas didn't start going in on theyself. That's really the reality of it. That's the real reality of it. That a lot of this goddamn violence and shit, you understand, that we is the outlet of 400 years of frustration. It should have been on their ass. But, you know, we see the conditions we in, and subliminally, we know we need to take it out on some goddamn body. But niggas have been trained today not to be violent to their own oppressors. They've been taught to be violent.
If you watch YouTube videos for at least 1 hour a week, you could be owed up to $1,000 a week
to themselves. That's the real reality of it. So if motherfuckers want to get deep, you understand? The only other thing is, nigga, you gonna be a good sheep and you gonna do A, B, C, D to be a good nigga, and that's it. That's what you gonna do. You see? And that's where it then got us. You see where it then got us right now to this day. You got masses, damn near 75% of the people in poverty. You see? Yeah, so, you know, that's not gonna get our ass no way. So this is what Malcolm X thought of Dr. Martin Luther King at that time. He seen him as one that was paid by European people to keep us in the predicament we in, being nonviolent, because he knows that, by nature. See, I'm gonna tell you this, and I'm gonna move on, because we going hard tonight. I got one more I want to talk about, and paying him to keep the slaves docile. You know, the goddamn Europeans don't want no slave revolts. That's not what they want. They was always in fear of damn slave revolts, and they did everything that they could, because, most of the time, in the early part of this country, blacks was the majority. They was the majority on the plantations, and whites was the minority, and that's why they, they opened up immigration to allow a lot of them Europeans to come over here so they can build up their numbers. You see what I'm saying? But we was and so they've always taught, you understand, to take over the mind psychologically, to keep the people from revolting, which they would naturally do. We have eliminated so many natural applications that people in all things in nature would use to preserve itself. And they have eliminated that in us. And subliminally, a lot of our people know that they should be overturning something. They just don't know what it is. They don't have the, they haven't, they've been taught away from but it's still something in them. And that's what they know. And they talk about that energy is still in, and you have to stay constant on keeping their ass dumbed down, keeping them that music out there to bleach these niggas' minds and keep them confused about what it's really about. You see what I'm saying? And so they know it's in our nature to come back to our natural self. If they thought that they had extinguished in us our consciousness, they wouldn't have to keep this shit, this stupid shit on media, on radio 24 hours a day to keep us dumbed down. That reality alone shows that we still a threat. As long as they have to continue to keep that operation of misinformation going every day, all day, we still a threat. That's real talk. I want to thank y'all family for being here. We got one more tonight. That's right. We got one more tonight. And I want you to, let me make sure. Okay. We got one more tonight. And so I want you to stay here with me, family, so we can put it down for the people, and don't you go nowhere, and hit some of them links, support the general, arm yourself with knowledge, bang on that wicked ass beast daily, liberation through African education and confrontation, Black power.
And that will be the end of my presentation. You got me. Unmute your mic, Jamie.
Hey, family, get on over there and check out General Seti, man. Get on and subscribe to him, man. He got over 1,000 videos, man, that you can check out, man. I mean, it's full over there, man. Check him out, man. Deep brother, man. He know his shit. Hey, but so yeah, y'all go ahead, man. What y'all think about that, man? Yeah. Go ahead,
Yeah, I'm gonna leave it to the panel, man. I mean, I showed it, so it must have something in it. But I showed it because we was talking about it earlier. Me and you guys was talking about it earlier. In the week. So I just brought it up. I just brought it up, man.
You talking about Martin Luther?
Martin Luther. We was talking about. We was just talking about ideologies, and in the position that we're in, the cycle that we're in, shit like that, and So I just plugged that one in too.
Well, I say this, man. Martin made a really, really huge contribution, man, and so did Malcolm X, man. I'm just gonna leave it at that. They made huge contributions to us, man. We should appreciate both the brothers, the work they put in. They risked their lives, man, their families' lives. I mean, so yeah, I appreciate them both. Man, salute to both of them for real.
Yeah.
So that's all I can say, King.
Yeah, I feel the same way, man. But still, I just wanted to get you guys' opinion on, based on the previous conversations that we had. It didn't have to deal with Malcolm or Martin Luther King, not our previous conversations. Some of it did, some of it didn't, but it's just where I went with it, and what I came across. So
Yeah, you know, yeah, that was tough, man. I mean, yeah, in the first conversation, like I said, man, it's see, my question is still the same. I mean, not question, but my statement is still the same. If you took it in the right context, the right way, you might be able to see or get an type of idea. You know what I mean? Or what you really practicing here, man. These people don't understand, man. You just practicing a watered down idea of our thought. But on differences, I mean, not only difference, but another difference is y'all take it literal. We take it. We know what it is. So that was my thing, man. You know, and just be able to look at the story of APEP, look at that, and just see what you see that that applies in your in the Christian uh uh belief system, right?
hey, that's nice. Yeah, that was cute how you put that in there, though.
What?
The belief, the Christian belief system. That was cute.
Yeah, well,
That was a cute description.
that's what it is. It's a Christian belief system. I mean, that's what it is. They believe this. They believe that. They believe this. So that means that we just go the Christian belief system, which is, yeah, I mean, like I said, now
I got a whole nother word for
I don't know, man. I rather know than believe, but some people are cool with believing, so you got to leave them just like leave them where they are. Just like Joe speaking about a person getting COVID and people with underlying conditions. I mean, I'm like this. It doesn't matter if I got it or not. Do you need it? That's the question. Do you want to get it? Are you getting it? I mean, do you feel like you need to have it? You know what I mean? Don't worry about what I got, what I did. You know what I mean?
yeah.
I mean, and whatever decision you decide to go with, hey, that's your business. You know what I'm saying? That's your medical business, man. I ain't got nothing to do with none of that. You know what I mean? If you take the shot or don't take the shot, that's your business.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's how I looked at it all. You know what I'm saying? And so that's how I look at this thing, man. Like if you choose to believe that, man, then you go ahead and you roll with that. But if you want to come to reality, we can talk about it.
All right.
Y'all go ahead, man. I'm just tripping.
Yeah. Eric, you want to say anything on that? Any of that?
Yeah, it was a good. I like both Malcolm. I like Malcolm. I mean, Martin had his way of getting his point across and using their own things that they themselves made them free and made them have inalienable rights. He used what they said that they used. So I could see his tactic of using the Bible and using the Christian belief system to say, hey, what do you mean? This ain't supposed to be right. The scripture says it so, said so. So from his it helped what he did. God damn it, I like Malcolm.
Yeah, that's right.
Because, yeah, for various reasons, but obvious reasons as well. But man, I have no qualms with neither one of the brothers, man.
That's right.
Gary?
Right.
Well, I like both men. I really, it opened my eyes though when Malcolm X was talking about Dr. Martin Luther King paid by the Europeans and You know, well, you know, I could see that happening, and it didn't take away how I felt about Martin Luther King. But it opened my eyes to how much, you know, monetary and the powers that be played into a part. And I appreciated that Malcolm X brought that up, because that was true stuff going on. So, anyway, I've enjoyed this whole presentation, and I'm probably going to get off pretty quick, but love you guys. Have a great evening, and I can't wait till next Sunday.
All right, Queen. Peace to you, man. Thanks for that. Thanks for that. Thanks for that. That's right.
Hey, you couldn't see Carrie, but she was throwing up. She was throwing up the double power.
Already.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. And I want to make it clear, man. You know, I didn't show this to you know, make anybody go against either one of the brothers. I mean, that ain't it, you know. But just to put some information out there, you know. And so, Gerald, you going to say anything?
From a clarity point, Martin Luther King is a Christian. Period.
Right.
It's a Martin Luther King that people talk about that went mad at the end. At that point, Martin Luther King is mad at other Christians because he's saying they ain't living up to their Christian standards when they're doing the war thing. And he like, shit, I'm a Christian. I used to be cool with I didn't look at the color thing. His Christianity taught him to look beyond the color barrier. He don't play the color shit. A Christian is his standard. That makes sense?
No doubt.
Okay. And a Christian, according to their principles, they are to forgive, right?
Turn the other cheek.
Right. Or forgive, basically.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So Malcolm, I want y'all to just understand the fundamental differences. Malcolm is a Muslim. You with me?
Right.
At this time, Muslims are called what?
Terrorists.
Devils. You with me?
Same difference. Yeah.
Right.
And they up, you can't forgive the devil. You know, it's two different religious concepts going on. You know what I'm saying? The devil is the enemy. That's why it's all happening to you, because you keep forgiving the devil. Blah blah blah. That was their language. That was their talk. That makes sense. So when Malcolm would turn the other cheek, and as he's saying, it's the devil that's beating him and doing this to other. That is, you know, I think one time he said Malcolm should go to jail for this. This is, you know, for teaching people that. He did not, and from his mindset, no, you don't do that. You only do that to people who he would say are human. He said you're not getting what your results because these people don't look at you as human. And Malcolm would go into different things like that to explain, you know, yeah, maybe we was dealing with somebody like as they view, it will be okay, but not with this. The second thing, as I keep saying, it's this: they both wanted freedom and liberation for their people. The way Malcolm was, he stood on what he believed, regardless of anything, and he came out. He was murdered for it. So I don't care what nobody say. And he had people that came with him. I wouldn't have been with him. I don't like that tactic, but at the same time, I'm mature enough. When I was younger, I talked about him just like everybody else. I'm mature enough, and I got more information that gave a change to me to accept. Even though I wouldn't roll with that dude, I give him much respect. He showed up. And despite all the threat, no, but when we talk about Malcolm, that's what people getting mixed up. Malcolm talked about it. He talked about defending himself and doing that. When Malcolm only defended himself, he was defending himself against other Muslims. They get that shit straight. It was black on black. It was the Muslims that were coming at the Malcolm when he got the gun out. who put what Malcolm talked about in effect was the Black Panther Party. The Black nationalism part, deal with power to the people and all of that was the Black Panther. That's Huey and Bobby Seale. That's 19. Malcolm get killed in 65. Black Panther Party come out in 1966. They were studying Malcolm. They was also students. They were students that weren't finna go turn the other cheek. These were students was like, no, we know our rights. This is a right that we should be standing on. We don't have to turn the other cheek.
I knew. Yeah.
They knew their rights, and if we got these rights, no reason to turn the other cheek.
And that car is in the car, right?
Say it again?
No, he talking to his wifey.
Oh, my fault, homies.
Okay, my bad. So that's what they stood on, and they were so bold when they came out, and then they knew the law, and they had a movement that went across America, at that time. When young people saw that, you know what I'm saying? You had that movement going on from 1966, and it was growing. In 1968, Martin Luther King gets killed. And with that when he gets killed, that movement stops. More people into a more militant Black Power type of stuff then. Jesse Jackson tried to revive it, but he couldn't. The Black Power movement that took over then. Black people wanted African stuff. They were shutting down schools. They were locking themselves into schools. They were wanting Black African education from Black people. They didn't want the white people teaching them the shit no more. It was a big change. Now, from that point of what Seti was talking about, you have a lot of those people who got that change, that when they got change, they wasn't fighting no more. You with me? That could be a part of when you say once you get the change, that you ain't, you ain't fighting no more, and you might even join the system. The Panthers was started off as a political party. They was trying to get within the system, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yes,
sir.
Yeah. So you're gonna have to, you ain't gonna be as rough as brazen as you think you would be. That ain't even political at that time, unless you're doing the whole takeover.
Right.
Yeah. So it's the diplomacy to it. We deal with that with the Assyrian resurrection. When he went to different places, he went to them with diplomacy, not the takeover shit.
Yeah, so I think you answered that question, really appropriately, man, that I posed to you. I was just looking at it in another lens, and like I said, we'll discuss that later. I'm good, Jamie.
Good, King. Hey, yeah, man, that was good, man. I appreciate that, family. Hey, man, and listen, don't forget, first Sunday every month, man, we need to get together, man, and get the kids together. We do the book. We're back on the children book read. Really important, man, that we push this Black history, man, our history, right? We gotta push it, man, because they trying to cut it out of schools. So it's important that we participate in that, man. Get the kids, grandkids, all the children, get them together, man, and let's get our read on, man.
Tell about the coupon.
Hey, Jamie, so your boy over there, DeSantis, done jumped on Trump's bandwagon. So he quit the presidential race and he jumped on the bandwagon. So I just say that in reference to, it's important for us to teach our people, right? That these kids, man, and stuff, because we already been over this, a few times in our sessions, Sankofa sessions and stuff like this. So
That's right.
Yeah, well, this might be the first time somebody sees it. So, DeSantis wanted to take the Black history out of teachings, and he's saying that we benefited from slavery. So now he joining bandwagons with Trump, endorsing him, and it's just about to get worse. So that's just based on, me inserting that part is based on the children's book read. How
So I
important.
didn't know that, man. I'm glad you said that, King. I really didn't know that. So
Yeah.
yeah, man. So now you look, now we got to do, yeah, man. See, so I mean, they're doing that here in Florida, and they're doing it in other states as well, man. And your state is gonna be next. That's all I'm saying to y'all family. So just pay attention, man, and what they're doing with these schools, the school system. Uh, this CRT thing is out of control. Uh, but yeah, anyway, man. Yeah, thanks for joining us, man. Y'all, we're gonna go ahead and sign out, family.
Yeah. Be
Please
sure.
like, subscribe, share, and give us a couple of comments, man. Let us know what y'all think. But go ahead.
Yeah, and go on and flip on over to the Facebook page on Sankofa 180 degrees. That's with the Sankofa 180 with the degree symbol. So come on over there and flip through, man. Join us if you like. Definitely come join us on Fridays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's more of an open conversation deal. We don't record that one, but we have some good conversations going on. And then come back again on Sundays, man. And be sure to point out anything that you need to point out, man. So comment, subscribe, and dislike or like, but definitely leave a comment.
Right. Hey, man. Again, man, go on over there to Cyrus Student SETI or SETI.com, General SETI, and go to that brother's page, man, and check out his channel. He got a code channel, man. He got a gang of information over there. Shout out to SETI, man. Peace. Hey, go ahead, Gerald.
Yeah, peace and respect to the panel. Good show today. Peace to the viewers, anybody that catching it now live or in the future. Appreciate the topics dealing with APEP and dealing with Malcolm X and his Martin. One thing that the brother also said at the end is, even though it's a reason that they put all this negative stuff up, because somewhere within our core we always go back to the source. That's again Sankofa 180, returning to the source. And once you turn to the source and get an African-centered view, it should straighten you up. You should be properly educated. You should get proper knowledge yourself. You should be able to inspire yourself and others. First, be inspired for what our ancestors did. Might get a little upset and mad about how we don't know about it and how you just finding out. Then you understand the system was designed to keep it from you. So if you'd have made it that far and you learning stuff, then it's each one teach one. Each one reach one, teach one. It's your job to get amongst brothers and sisters of like minds and share information what you know. So again, black power, black love, all power to the people.
Yeah, and just real quick, I want to give credit to ASMR Stories, Mythical Arcana, for allowing us to share the video on APEP. And they got a whole grip of a whole list of videos, and information and stuff. So, be sure to go over there and check those out too. Eric?
Yeah, Eric.
Oh, as always, man, peace and blessings to the panel. Always like to be a part of the discussion. I enjoy the time here, so let's keep it going. Thanks for signing in.
That's right.
And let's stay on for just a second after we get off live.
Okay, all right. Hey, family, so listen, man, we out of here, man. Thanks for joining. Check us out, like you said, Friday, man, at 7:00 p.m. We do a we do an open mic build, man. So come on in, man, and let's talk about it. And it's Sunday, 2:00, man, 2:30, man. We probably pop on 2:00. We got a pre-build that we do, so you can just jump on, man, kick it with us. You know what I mean? And join the bill, man. Don't be ashamed. Don't be scared, man. We ain't gonna really bite your whole head off. Just you know what I mean? Okay. So, but anyway, hey, peace to you, King. Everybody, all right?
Everybody, all right.
All right.
Peace.
Peace.